Hello, hello. I don't know if we're live
Hey.
yet, but here we are. We are, of course, playing the totally PG game, or no, actually G-rated game, totally nothing adult in this game whatsoever. Crusader Kings 2. Very child
Yeah,
friendly.
it's very connected to Lord of the Rings, of course.
Indeed,
Yes.
extremely, just like Lord of the Rings. And can you see it? Can you see the map?
Let me just check. Go into the stream. Okay, it's live now. Yeah, it's definitely live, and I see the map. Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, so if we want to play Ireland, we can look at this area here. Look at all the different places we can play as. We can play as the great
Yeah.
Mumu Empire, the 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 lakes. I assume that's pronounced lakes. I don't see how else you would pronounce that.
Yeah.
The Ligon, Meath, or Meth, if you know you're a drug addict.
Meath. It's Meath.
Good. Brafen. So
Yeah.
I
Some of
think
these are old names, like.
I think when I was looking, oh, Westmeath. This is the best Meath, of course. Oh, no, I don't really like that guy's mustache too much. He doesn't have a good enough mustache, really. You can actually change their mustaches, but we gotta find the guy with the best character.
Let me just mute that so I don't hear two audio things at once. There we go.
Or we can play up here and play as Kuhala. It's all fine and dandy.
Nice.
Or we can play as the real conquers of the world, Cornwall.
Hey, go whatever you please.
So we kind of actually let's look at the Dynasty map mode maybe. Is Dynasty map mode even available in this version? No, it doesn't look like it. What's their religion? They're Catholics apparently. Well, that would be boring. So, course, there we go. Much, no. Uh, you know, these guys had a pretty tough time.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of surrounded. Yeah, that should be fine. Unless you want to play as these guys. I wonder who they become. Definitely not anyone important. Don't worry about that. Oh, these are the Unil. Okay. Yeah, we'll play as this old dude. It's fine. Alright, load rules. Yeah, that seems fine. We'll go Iron Man so that way we can't just save willy-nilly. Yeah, let's go. You think we're gonna win?
I mean, what matters is how you play.
So not being destroyed by other kingdoms and being conquered by the English or something.
Absolutely, yes.
And conquering the Picts, of course. Those uncivilized savages up in the north. How dare they?
Right. Okay. So, I think I'm ready about to continue this Lord of the Rings
Very good.
story tour, story time. You ready to listen?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's just begin.
Alrighty. So, where did we leave off last time? So, Gandalf, Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas have went to Rohan, and they freed Theoden from Saruman's control.
Indeed.
Yep, and I mentioned in the books, Theoden, because in the book continuity, they already have the Riders of Rohan with them. They aren't banished like in the film. They make a charge against Isengard, but fail, and they have to retreat to Helm's Deep. Whereas in the movie, Theoden rather not have anyone else murdered, especially since he's low on manpower. So he has his men and his people retreat to Helm's Deep because, frankly, Saruman is more concerned about killing his civilians first than killing the villagers first than killing Theoden. So that's why, like, I know you were saying last week it's not a tactically sound thing to do,
Indeed.
to put peasants and villagers, like, in a fortress, but given that, like, in the film thing, Saruman is actively trying to kill all the villagers just so he could take over Rohan, I think that could be forgiven,
Yeah, it's just like the thing is, like, if you do something like that, all they would have to do, they wouldn't actually attack you, they just surround you, and then you would starve out like in a matter of days, probably from lack of water.
Yeah, well, who said Saruman was a great tactician? Yeah.
Apparently he's not. Okay, so this woman, she seems pretty great, right? Gluttonous, envious, proud, and lustful. Do you think that's a good choice?
Wow, I mean, so she has plenty of the deadly sins right there,
Indeed.
Yeah. I think you two have a lot in common. That's great.
Wow, wow. Look, I'm I'm chaste, I'm stubborn, I'm kind, and I'm wroth. All right. Very nice
sorry.
guy.
I'm sorry. It was a cheap shot, I know, but I had to.
A very nice guy.
To do it. Yeah.
This would be terrible. She has terrible prestige. No. We must marry someone with some prestige.
Alrighty. So they head off, and oh yeah, I remember. We ended last week with telling the the fake out, the one fake out of the game that the film I wasn't really a fan of. Aragorn, like falling off the cliff.
Indeed.
Yeah, like that only happens in the film because in the book they already had like a guy who was just on patrol, and he noticed the 10,000 Uruks heading towards Helm's Deep to warn them. Whereas in the film, they needed a different person to do that for them. So they had Aragorn to, well, seemingly die, and only to get up, see all the Uruks, and then run back to Helm's Deep. Right. What else is not happening this time? Oh yes. Sam, Frodo, and Gollum. They reach the Black Gates and they see the Easterlings enter through, and Gollum stops them from going in because, well, I mean, yeah, they're walking right into the front doors of the enemy. Like.
That seems like a great idea.
Yeah, they're not exactly gonna sneak in, where all their eyes are looking at,
Were they not listening when he said, one does not simply walk into Mordor?
Exactly, yeah, they weren't paying attention, Clearly not. So, Gollum, says there's another path around. It's much longer, but, it's less prying eyes. And that's where they go. And it's around this time they head through these swampy marshes. The Dead Marshes, I believe it's called. This is where, in the Second Age, the battle between the humans and elves versus the orcs and Sauron for the One Ring happened, and the marshes spread out with all the corpses, and over time, the ghosts of the dead haunt the area. So and take any traveling, any unwelcome travelers to their deaths, pretty much.
Indeed.
So it's just a spooky place, you don't want to be,
Very
ever.
spooky. And then he holds them to their oath.
Oh, these are different ghosts. That's the third film you're thinking of, the mountains. No, this is the swamps. Remember the swampy?
Oh, these ghosts. These are the bad ghosts.
Yeah, the swampy ghosts who tried to take Frodo when Gollum says, "Don't follow the light." I can't do the voice. Yeah, don't follow the lights. Yeah. Because that's how they lure you in with their will-o-the-wisp.
And then Frodo follows them because he likes to do things like that.
Yeah, Frodo, he ain't. Yeah, he's a bit like he sees a shiny and he kind of gets caught in the moment, doesn't he?
Wait. I'm confused. Wait, what? Oh.
What?
Oh, it's. I can have concubines, but I'm Catholic. I was confused for a moment.
Oh, right. Okay.
I didn't know Catholics could have concubines.
Well, I mean, I imagine like it's a loose, definition of Catholicism,
Wait. I can take his concubine as my concubine. And he'll accept. Why?
He'll accept.
He'll be like, okay, that's fine.
Some people offer you tea when you enter their house. Some people other people offer their concubines. Like it's just custom. Like who are we to judge?
It's just being kind.
Yeah. Okay. So, it's around this time where Gollum and Smeagol kind of like begin their inner battle, and Smeagol takes over for a little while, and he's all friendly and weird, rather than murderous, just for a wee bit, you know. But that will soon change. And Frodo and Sam are, yeah, they see the elephants, the big old elephants creatures, and the wicked men, as Smeagol calls them. These are humans who live farther in the east, so they're also Easterlings, as far as I know. Well, I already mentioned last week that pretty much all the people of Middle Earth more or less calls anyone who's not from Middle Earth an Easterling, essentially. And Sauron, he's been spreading his ideals to them for a very long time, so they're all tricked by his promises of immortal life and dark magic and land and stuff. So that's why they're coming in to help him. Then Faramir, he pops in and with his troops, and they ambush these Easterlings and capture Frodo and Sam. And this is when they learn about Boromir's death, and this is Boromir's brother. And in the extended version, alright, this is once again why I watched the extended versions, because we see a flashback of Faramir with his brother when they took over Osgiliath from the orcs. And then we first meet their father, Denethor. Yeah, you're a favorite. You're a second favorite.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
I hear that he's really fire.
yeah, he's
He's quite hot-headed, they say.
very much so. Yeah, he tells Boromir about there's a council happening at Elrond, because like this is in Rivendell. This is before Boromir would have went and the Fellowship was formed. This was long before that. Well, not long before, but, like some days before it. And he sends Boromir off. And we just learn how much like Denethor really detests like his younger son Faramir. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that's because since Faramir's the youngest, like his Faramir's mother died of childbirth. That's why Denethor dislikes him. So it's that kind of that's why the animosity with him.
Yeah, they have some issues.
Yeah, major issues. Yeah, because Faramir wants to somewhat live up to his father's expectations. But Denethor always shoots him down.
He's not a very nice
all
guy.
the time. Yeah. And so that happens, and then when they capture Smeagol, and which makes Smeagol think that Frodo tricked them into capturing him, and that's when Gollum comes back, and he's fully against the hobbits this time. He really hates them now he's a prisoner. And Faramir learns that they have the Ring of Power, and he's going to take them to Gondor, because now this is his chance to show that he's as worthy as his brother to his father. Now this is his chance to do that. So he takes the hobbits and Gollum to Osgiliath, which is currently in a bit of a turf war between the Gondor soldiers and the orcs who inhabit the other half of Osgiliath. Kind of like it's kind of like your little mini fortress in between the enemy's home turf and your home turf. You kind of want to keep that,
You do not wish to have that division,
no. No, so it's in constant sort of battle. Speaking of battle, Theoden is getting very angsty because he knows like they're low on manpower, and they need to defend Helm's Deep with every last man. So he starts conscripting anyone, any males, like old and young, to fight. And this is where we start seeing a bunch of them like wielding like blunt weapons and some cheap armor, showing that yeah, they're all essentially screwed. But luckily for them, the elves arrive because Elrond sent for them. he sent for them to go to the Helm's Deep, the Helpouts, and fight off the Uruks that are on their way. This does not happen in the book at all. No, in the book, it's like the humans are on their own until Gandalf shows up. So yeah.
So that guy that dies there, he doesn't even exist.
I think he exists, but I think like he what happens to him probably doesn't happen the exact same ways in the book. He probably does die, but not in that way in that time, probably. You know.
Yeah.
There was, funny enough, in that battle, Helm's Deep, there's meant to be other changes, like Arwen. She was meant to show up. Remember, that's Aragorn's love interest. She was meant to be there. They filmed it and all, but they deleted it in the end. That scene. I think. Oh yeah. Speaking of which, we should get to that part. I forgot about that. Yeah. Elrond convinces his daughter Arwen to leave because she's an elf. She can live forever. But this is a dying world, and Aragorn can't live that long, as long as her, which is forever. So there is no happiness for her here. This is, there's only just despair and sadness. So it's better she goes to the Undying Lands where nothing can die and everyone's all happy.
So no one dies there, like even humans?
No. If you go to the Undying Lands, like it's essentially heaven, more or less. So going there is, I think you can still get, get killed because I think that's when the first elven kinslaying began. But like it's a little complicated because like it's sort of like I don't know how to fully explain it, but it's let's just call it heaven. It's essentially heaven. You can go there, and the elves have like this chance to go there without dying, because it's. You can't, if you had a chance to go to heaven, without, going through the painful process of dying, when you take it.
Indeed. So normally you have to die to get there, but in this case, they don't have to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they, like I said last week, they were banished from there because of, they were prideful and they were killing each other, like, engaging in kinslaying, so that's why they're banished and they're forgiven.
That's not the best thing to do.
Yeah. Oh, we have someone in the chat. Hello, Fire Cheetah Girl. Yep, welcome. No worries. We only just started. Yep.
Indeed.
All right. So yeah. So she's convinced, at least for now in this film, to leave, and Elrond sends off the elves to Helm's Deep, and then the battle is about to happen. But before that happens, let's cut back to Frodo and Sam. Let's cut back to Merry and Pippin, because we forgot about them.
Very exciting characters.
Yes. Merry and Pippin, they are with Treebeard of the Ents. The Ents are interesting creatures because they've existed pretty much from the birth of Arda. Their job is to protect the forests and make sure no one is burning down forests just for fun, so they'd be very useful in this time,
Indeed.
Yeah. They are very old and wise, and in the film, I think they wanted to make them a little more, how should I say, dotty, because I think in the books they want to go to war and take care of Saruman because he's doing bad shit. In the books, I think they wanted to make them more neutral, and slower, because in the extended version, it takes them all day just to say hello in Entish. It was just funny.
That is not a very good language. It takes you that long to say something.
Yeah, and they're trees, what's time to a tree?
Indeed.
Yeah. Hello, Miss Nightwalker. They just lamented that donations are turned off on the stream. Yeah. Yeah. So Merry and Pippin, mostly Merry is a little disheartened that the Ents kind of just want to, at least the film ones, just want to return peacefully, to just watching the forests because this is not their fights, It's
until it becomes their fight when they're about to see.
Yeah, and Pippin has a great idea to lead Treebeard towards Isengard, where all the where all the dead trees are, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Oh, hello, headers. Welcome.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, actually, we'll get to it right now. So, Treebeard goes out and he sees all the dead tree stumps, and then, immediately he's like, "Many of these trees were my friends. I knew them since they were saplings." Then he sees the smoke coming out of Isengard, and then he makes this big howl, which calls forth like all these other Ents, which is very clever. I feel the film, you know, like, they established that the Ents, you know, their language takes forever to speak, and all it takes is just one sort of like, you know, anguished yell to howl to rally all the other Ents to go to war. That's so awesome, and they charge to Isengard, which is now mostly defenseless. So, Saruman, not the brightest of ideas, you know, sending all your heavy-hitting army to one place.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of kind of not so great of military strategy in Lord of the Rings.
Probably, yeah, like definitely not. I think like probably Sauron probably has the best, and even then, like his defenses are a bit iffy at times as well.
Indeed.
So yeah, the Ents are heading off, and oh, Fire Cheetah Girl has a question. Do you live stream every day, and if so, what time do you start it?
So, not every day. I might start doing them more frequently, just depends on how I feel, but I stream with Liam on Wednesdays around 6 Eastern Standard Time, and then I stream with Ryu around 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays.
Yeah. Well, even then, with Saturdays, it's going to be a bit sporadic, because some days I'll make it, some days I can't. Yeah, it's just, you know,
Indeed.
just schedules, you know, so for now, I'm here, you know.
Here
Alrighty.
today, gone tomorrow.
I'm here, essentially, yes. Right, so, anyway, the moment we've all been waiting for, Helm's Deep. Yeah. The epic showdown. All the Uruks are waiting, you know, they begin their battle chant, and war happens.
Ooh, the war happens.
Yeah. So, as when the battle begins, they're holding off the Uruks pretty well, you know? Their siege weapons can't seem to get through, their battering rams, their big ladders, until they have, like, the one big mine full of black powder, where that one Urk explodes. It's funny because like people have been making jokes saying like Legolas never misses until it actually counts, you know. The one time where he shouldn't miss and he misses. Well, not misses, but he couldn't kill the one Urk. Yeah. Which is good because I mean, you know, Legolas needs to lose sometimes. You know, he can't just be Mr. Perfect all the time. Yeah.
Why not? Why not be always perfect?
Because perfect's boring, you know.
Oh. So you don't
I mean,
want to marry
imagine
Sue?
playing-
You don't like Mary Sue?
I barely know her.
Mary Sue characters are just known for being perfect. That's pretty much the thing
Yeah.
about them.
Yeah. Mary and Gary. Yeah.
Gary Sue?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I really
we-
need to use these soldiers soon, but I can't do it yet until I have 200 prestige. This could be very bad.
Yeah. Just send all 10,000 of your troops out and leave your base defenseless. You know, like Saruman recommends that.
I don't have 10,000 soldiers to send, my friend.
Well, there you go.
Okay, one more. Yes, let's go to war, my friends.
All right.
Watch me lose and instantly lose the game. Actually, can I form an alliance with you, sir? Arrange a marriage.
All right.
That's not gonna work, apparently. Okay, never mind, let's just go to war. Never mind that.
Okay. So everything goes tits up with the wall blowing up, and all the Uruks are starting to pile in, and also breaking down the doors with their battering rams. This is when Theoden's like, "Oh shit! I think I was a bit too cocky of how strong our walls were."
Indeed.
Right, and it's an all-out epic fight. One of the best in the series, honestly. I mean, okay, maybe in a tactical, like as you said, in a tactical standpoint, maybe not the best, but for a as an epic sight, you know, it's pretty cool, you know, just to see like all these elves and all these Uruks and men just clashing together in so many ways. Legolas showing off, you know, like, by sliding on a shield, like Breath of the Wild style, while firing his arrows.
Indeed.
You know, like some people do bring up like Like Legolas is so freaking like OP that you like even outclasses all these other elves who just get killed immediately, more or less. Like they all die. I don't think there's a single elf alive at the end of the Battle of Helm's Deep.
That does not seem very good.
No, it really doesn't. So they all begin getting picked off one by one. I guess really, I think a way to explain like why most of the Fellowship survive the events of Lord of the Rings is that they are meant to be like the best, you know, like of their race. You know, like Aragorn's meant to be the best, the Dunedain Rangers. Boromir's the best man of Gondor. Legolas the best of the elves. Gimli the best of the dwarves. In terms of combat, of course, yeah. So it makes sense, you know. Get one of the best from each, you know. I mean, it's like pick the best fighters in, you know, like from 5 anime shows, you know, like one from each, you know, like, you know.
Let's see, all the best fighters in anime. So there would be Shaggy and Cory in the house.
Of course, yes.
And then perhaps even, yes, instructional airplane videos from the 80s.
Yeah. Don't forget Wilford Warstash, of course.
Wilford Warstash, one of the greatest anime villains of all time.
Yeah.
But he doesn't take no shit from nobody.
Not even Slenderman, no. And
Slenderman.
yeah, and I apologize to bring his name up, but Roger the Dodger as well. he should not be named, especially right now. Right.
Wow, that's a little drastic.
Yeah.
Let's see this guy.
Oh shit! I forgot to mention. That's right. So during when so rewind a wee bit to before they head out to Helm's Deep, Gandalf has left to bring back all the Riders of Rohan to help out with the fight. So it's going to take him 3 days to do so. Excuse me. What happened? And on the 3rd day, he will come back. And that's what happens. On the 3rd day, they look to the east, and there is Gandalf with all the Riders of Rohan, and they cleave right through all the Uruks. And finish them off, and they win the Battle of Helm's Deep. Ta-da! Yeah.
Magnificent.
Just barely winning the fight. Actually, in the book, another little difference here is that, like I said, in the book continuity, the Riders of Rohan were never banished, so they are there in the Battle of Helm's Deep. Gandalf went to other neighboring houses in Rohan to help out. So pretty much all of Theoden's neighbors, pretty much, who have their own armies to back him up, essentially. That's where Gandalf goes in the book continuity. Right. So yep. So yeah, they win the Battle of Helm's Deep, the most epic part. Merry and Pippin, they free, and in the end they free the dams. So Isengard is now flooded, and Saruman and Wormtongue are stranded on top of the tower, looking very dumbfounded at just how stupid they are and how screwed they are. And before I wrap it up with of this film with Sam and Frodo and Gollum. We have a question from Fire Shooter Girl again. They ask, I have another question. Yeah. I missed a few streams, so I was wondering what basically Roger the Dodger is about. You can give a long or short description. I apologize for missing the streams. Oh, don't worry about that. Yeah, no
yes, indeed. Do not worry, there will be more streams. So, Roger the Dodger is a man of legend. He is a man of questionable moral character, but unquestionable prowess in being captured and having terrible luck. But nonetheless winning tournaments and the like. So, yes, he's definitely a certain man that many legends are told, is he not, Ryu?
Definitely, yes.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And I really just need to actually start taking the game seriously so he stops getting those terrible situations.
He's a character that Taka and Liam have created in Mountain Blade, and just essentially we've been like I've been like mostly in the chats really and Taka and Liam in the stream, like just been hyping up his history, like this role, this idea of like this absurd character being the most badass and terrifying man who ever lived.
Indeed. He's committed at least 5 genocides, for instance.
At least 5 that we know about.
Indeed. So I think I've united Ulster, haven't I?
Oh, have you? Good on you.
I don't know. I have these 3 provinces. Is that Ulster, or do I need more?
I mean, you can never have too many. Yeah.
Too many Ulster provinces. Actually, let me see. There's probably a Greenlanded title. Duchy of Ulster. It's not a thing yet. But I think the O'Neill would be the proper dynasty to rule that, right? Historically speaking.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Control. Become part of the O'Neills.
2 of my neighbors are O'Neill, and then there's this guy. He's O'Brun, I guess. How you would say that?
Let me see. Oh.
My son. My son.
Radio. So, anyway, just to wrap up 2 towers. Okay, Sam and Frodo, they are in Osgiliath, and the Nazgul attack. And Frodo is, he is slowly but surely being, taken over by the One Ring, And he very, very nearly gives up the One Ring to the Nazgul, but that's when our hero Sam comes in and stops him.
Indeed, Sam's always there to save the day.
Yeah, Sam is there literally carrying this poor sap all the way to Mordor.
Indeed, poor Sam. Poor Sam.
Definitely, poor Sam.
Always betrayed.
Mm.
All of my vassals are all bishops.
Yeah. So Sam gives like an epic pep talk that honestly that we could apply to this year. Honestly, yeah, things look dark and grim, but there's always some good in the world. We just need to keep going.
Indeed.
And luckily Faramir was in earshot because he hears this and immediately has a chain of heart and realizes, my father probably isn't the best person to get this ring. Let's you guys do what you need to do. Off you go. But once again, in the extended version, he asks which way they're going to head into Mordor, and they say Gollum knows the path, and he immediately knows this is Cirith Ungol. Like, ooh, there's something terrible in Cirith Ungol, but no one says anything because that was spoilers. Ooh.
Oh, I died.
Oh. Does your heir take over now? Yeah.
Indeed. Chief Aid. Aid.
What, like your 6-year-old heir is going to take over and rule your kingdom?
No, he's 20.
Oh, okay, all right. So
his fiance is 8 though.
Oh no!
Welcome to Crusader Kings, my friend.
I remember that was like a joke in in the Irish lads their video. Like one of them was like, there's like this big fight that happened, and then one of them in the background says, "Right, thank you for marrying my daughter, Kevin. She's 7."
Oh, Crusader Kings, very, very moral game. Definitely no qualms there.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Oh, what to do? I will see the realm prosper because that is the right thing to do. There we go. Perfect. And of course, I'm a very business savvy fellow. There we go. Fantastic.
Oh, of course.
And now to take a few concubines, as you do.
Just a few, yeah.
She's celibate. Why would what? Why would I take a celibate concubine? What would that do? What would that even do? Oh man. What a game.
Okay.
What a game.
So, yeah. So, Sam and Frodo, despite, mostly Frodo, despite knowing that this is a more dangerous route, possibly, they still let Gollum lead the way. And Sam, of course, still iffy on Gollum, as honestly anyone with half a brain would be. Yeah.
Indeed. He doesn't seem like a very trustworthy fellow.
No, I understand, like, obviously they need Gollum to show them where to go, otherwise they need to head all the way back to the Black Gates, and there's no way getting in there, so it's like an unfortunate but necessary sacrifice they have to make, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah, they follow Gollum, and as in the Battle of Helm's Deep, all the surviving Urks, they retreat, they run away. But what happens in the extended version? We see what happens to them. They run away, and they run into this spontaneous forest that just popped out of nowhere, which actually traveled from Isengard all the way to Helm's Deep, between the borders of Helm's Deep and Isengard. And when the Urks go in, they get torn to shreds by all these trees of Fangorn forests.
Rest in peace.
Exactly.
But then again, they're the bad guys, so I guess it's just, it happens.
Yeah, I know, and they deserved it. They chopped down so many trees, and burned them all for fuel. Yeah.
That's a really dick move.
Oh, bye, Miss Nightwalker. No worries, you gotta go. You gotta go.
Have a good night.
Alrighty. So, and Gandalf and the others, they begin their trek towards Isengard, saying now the Battle of Middle-earth, the Battle of Middle-earth has just begun. Knowing that now that Saruman's gone, the only enemy they have left is Sauron, the big bad. Indeed,
the biggest of bads.
Well, at least in the Third Age.
in that particular era. But who knows? Maybe someone worse will come around eventually and be like, "Hello, I'm an even worse bad guy."
Exactly. So, yes, that is the Two Towers. So we move on to the Return of the King,
the final frontier.
Indeed, yeah. The thing I love of these films is they did get better as they went on. They're all great, but everyone really says in descending order of greatness, it's normally 3, 2, 1. Because they just got better and better and better. But man, imagine being on the set of filming on the set of that for 15 months straight, and then a 2-year break in between, and then coming back for redos, that is some dedication right there,
Indeed.
I know the actors who had to play the hobbits, at least for the first film, they had to wake up as soon as dawn, and then they go to bed when.
And was the actor for Gandalf the same one in The Hobbit?
Yeah, Ian McKellen. Yeah.
Wow. That's what 20 years, almost 20 years later, or 15 years later, something like that, right?
Yeah, 15. Yeah, because I think Fellowship becomes 20 years old next year. Yeah.
A eunuch, of course. I accept your eunuch. Thank you. Eunuchs are great. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, good lord, I couldn't imagine anyone else playing a live-action Gandalf, my friend. I really can't.
And what about 20 years? So they'll have to have.
Well, I mean,
right?
yeah, but true. But why would they need another live-action Gandalf? The Lord of the Rings films, honestly, it's you can't. How could you tell the story any other way? I mean, you could try to adapt.
Isn't Gandalf in the Second Age as well?
No.
Oh, he's not? Okay.
Well, no, he isn't. No, he's really in the Third Age. You can tell probably the story before the Hobbits and stuff, but at the same time, why? I mean, there's no point. I know the Amazon series, they're going to try and tell the Second Age. That's during the war with Sauron and how he lost the ring and stuff, and before that, in the fall of Numenor. I mean, Gandalf was always around because he's a Maiar spirit. He's technically an angel. He's been there since the dawn of time. So they could do something like that. But yeah, there's some films that just don't need to be remade. And this trilogy is honestly part of that. It's you don't. There are certain things you just don't touch. Because you should know better.
Indeed. Because this guy has a negative 40 opinion of me, so I don't think this is gonna work out.
Yeah. Alrighty.
That was a terrible
So we open with Return of the King with a flashback from Gollum. When he first found the ring, or rather his friend Deagle first found the ring. And we learn just that Gollum, when he was Smeagol, he murdered his friend, took the ring, and we see a slow descent into madness. Well, not madness, he was already mad, but his slow sort of transformation over the hundreds of years. Very disturbing things, you know, very disturbing. It's a genuinely freaky goblin-like creature, you know. And it just really goes to show just how powerful the ring can be in affecting a person.
Could mess up your head, bro.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Because that's the thing with the ring, like, it affects your desires, you know. So if you are I think, like, with, at least in the film, what we can interpret why Bilbo lasted so long is that, you know, he didn't really desire much out of life other than, you know, like being in the Shire. But as he got older, he got bored of the Shire and wanted to go adventuring again. That's when the ring started to affect him a little more. But he let go of it. He let go of it fairly quickly. Frodo, when he left the Shire, that's when the ring started taking effect, because all he wanted was to be gone with this ring and return to the Shire. So the ring kept playing on that and replaced his desire for the Shire for the desire of the ring. That's kind of how it works, you know. And since men are so full with desires and aspirations, it takes over that. It takes that. That's why it's such a dangerous little tricksy item. There's a character that in Fellowship called Tom Bombadil, I think. I can never pronounce his name right. He's like the one character who interacts with the ring and it has no effect on him at all. And his existence is meant to be a deliberate mystery, because Tolkien, he has no effect at all in the story of Lord of the Rings. He's really more or less a cameo because Tolkien liked the character he created. And he's really meant to be like this embodiment of all that's good and happy, you know? So he's like a primordial sort of entity.
Yeah.
That's why the ring can't affect him. But you can understand why a character like that just serves no purpose in this already long trilogy. You know, I mean, what would be the point of putting him in there? Like, it kind of like lessens the threat of the ring, you know, because like from some people's perspective, say, oh, the ring doesn't affect everyone that way. All right, then why should we be scared of it?
Yeah, just introduce Tom Bombadil like in the game and make him the most OP character in the entire universe. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
That's right. I heard about that. He just fucks your shit up, doesn't he?
just like make Tom Bombadil fight Sauron and he'll kick his ass. I mean, he doesn't give a fuck, man.
He probably would, you know, but the thing is, like, he just doesn't care by the looks of it. He just kind of like wants to live in his own world, you know, like just happily dancing around.
I mean, just like have like Tom Bombadil fight the guy that created Sauron. He'll kick his ass. He doesn't care.
Oh, you mean like the Morgoth, the Dark Lord?
Yeah,
he probably could, you know, because Ungoliant, who's probably the primordial being of darkness and the void, almost killed Morgoth. You know, so.
There you go.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Oh, you're right there.
Yeah, I dropped something. My bad. I was reaching for something. I dropped another thing. Hold up.
Indeed.
So, anyway, after that thingamajig, what happens next? We see Merry and Pippin. They are happily smoking some pipeweed, you know, in their victory. Because they stole it from Saruman's, what is it, like his larder? His outdoor larder? Yeah. Funny story, actually. Saruman in the books, Tolkien makes a note that he is very jealous of Gandalf, so he started copying a lot of Gandalf's mannerisms, like taking up the smoking of pipeweed, you know. So I think that's just a cute little reference that they had there. That he has all this pipeweed, and I can only imagine he doesn't like it because I mean, Saruman's a joyless prick, you know, and and the fact that he only has it because like he just wanted to show up Gandalf in some way is just funny to me, you know.
Showing up Gandalf?
Yeah, because like Saruman's just jealous of him, you know. He's jealous of like just how chill he is and how everyone loves him, and
I will become evil by. It's like I'll become evil just to spite you, Gandalf, because I'm jealous of your cool everything. Yeah. Everyone likes you. No one likes me. Why does anyone like me?
It's that meme, you know, like the Virgin Saruman, the Chad Gandalf, you know. Oh gosh.
Indeed.
So Gandalf, Legolas, Aragorn, Gimli, and Theoden, they walk through Fangorn Forest safely, meet up with Merry and Pippin, and they are outside the Tower of Isengard. Now, this is an important moment because in the standard version, they just go there and they just say that, okay, Saruman, he's depowered, you know, like, he's no longer a threat. Let's go home. In the extended version, they actually say like, no, we need him alive. We need him to talk because, you know, he was working with Sauron. He may know his plans. Kind of a smart move, honestly, to interrogate him.
But you said he's also like, if you kill him, he just comes back, right?
Well, that's if the Valar, you know, like essentially, you know, like the higher, you know, like the gods want him to come back, you know. So, yeah, that's the thing.
We can become pagan.
Well, you see, there's no other gods in this world, so like you're kind of screwed in that front. So Sauron pops out and he's like, oh, Lord Theoden, can't we just, you know, chat like we used to? Can't we have peace? And Theoden's like, we'll have peace when we hang you in a giblet to the sport of your own crows. Then we'll have peace. Then he starts taunting the Fellowship, tries to attack Gandalf, immediately fails. His staff gets destroyed, and generally just an absolute dick. You know, he's just he's starting to make demands, even though, you know, he has nothing. He has nothing to make demands with. You know, and he. Well, of course, he pisses off his servant, Wormtongue, who stabs him in the back, and so Legolas kills him, shoots an arrow up to kill him. And Saruman, he falls from the tower and lands right on this big turn wheel, and that's him dead. And the thing is, when Saruman dies, you know, when Gandalf died, because he worked and served the Valar, they rewarded him a second chance to come back to finish his mission. Because his mission as one of the Ishtari, the wizards, was to combat Sauron, and to defeat, you know, like the enemy. Saruman, you know, like failed in his mission.
He didn't do a very good job at that. Yeah, he didn't do a very good job at all.
Yeah, exactly. So the Valar aren't going to be happy. So when he dies, his spirit leaves his body. However, he doesn't go to the Undying Lands, to Valinor. No, they banish his spirit in the opposite direction. So whatever happens to him is a mystery. So he's just banished, pretty much forever. So yeah, you don't you don't mess with your bosses when they are pretty much, you know, the gods who can decide whatever happens to your mortal soul. You know. Wasn't a smart move on his half.
Indeed. I think in general he just doesn't really seem to have much of a game plan.
He really did it, you know, like when you think about it, Saruman wasn't really that wise, and I think that was definitely an intentional thing on Tolkien. Gandalf was the real smart one, he's the real wise one, he's the one who should have been the leader of the Ishtari. But no, Saruman was the one who got it, and he got it for all the wrong reasons.
Indeed.
So what happens next? So his body dies, but Pippin sees the Palantir. That's that crystal ball thing that's in the water. So, actually, when you were rewatching these, did you see that scene where Saruman was killed in the third movie?
Don't think he was killed. I don't think so, no.
Yeah, you see, you must have watched the standard version, you see. In the extended version, they actually show him. They actually show that little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think so, though. I don't think I saw that now.
You see, that is such an important...
When does that take place?
That happens really early in the film. That's when they go to Isengard. They meet the Treebeard. You know, when they're standing outside Saruman's tower. You know, where
Pippin finds... picking out the ball and everything like that.
Yeah,
like little...
yeah. This is before that. Just before that, literally.
Okay.
Yeah. This is such an important scene. I wonder why they even cut it out. You know, like, I suppose they can make the excuse of that. You know, like, oh, it took too much time. But, you know, it's just like 5 minutes. I mean, we can set an extra 5 minutes. I mean... We
5 minutes.
Yeah, we already know what movie this is. We know we're in for the long haul.
Indeed.
I mean, at this point, I mean, if you walk out of the film because it's too long or start complaining because it's too long, you have yourself to blame. What do you expect? It's Lord of the Rings. So yeah, they actually explain, like, when Saruman fell, the Palantir, the ball, falls out of like his sleeve pocket. And, well, I say pockets, like this big, huge sleeve where he's keeping it hidden falls out into the water, so that explains why it's there, you know.
Yeah.
Pippin takes it up. Gandalf immediately recognizes it and takes it. And curious Pippin, unfortunately, like he's just too fascinated. So we're gonna get to that part soon. But yeah,
so
they return back. Yeah, they return back to Edoras. That's the actual castle of Rohan, and they have a little celebration that they won the battle. And it's also like a big ol' it's essentially partly a wake, you know, for all who died in the fight, which I am assuming a lot, you know. A lot of death, yeah. And then we get that funny bit with Legolas and Gimli with that drinking competition.
Indeed, and the dancing on the tables.
Yeah, that's right. Merry and Pippin, they have their happy little upbeat dancing. It's nice to get that little happy reprieve to see like the heroes are finally on the up, because the first film started off like oh, we're screwed, the bad guys are winning, you know. The second film, you know, ends, you know, it starts with that, but gradually gets more positive. The third film is now, okay, we're on our highest point, but now we're gonna go back to our lowest point again, just so we can climb ourselves out of it. It's quite a roller coaster, and I think they balanced that pretty well, honestly.
Indeed.
Right. So, when that is happening, the whole celebrations and stuff, I should probably bring up Eowyn. That's Theoden's niece. You know, the one who has the hots for Aragorn.
The one who says, "I am no man," and kills the Witch King.
Yeah, spoilers, we're getting there.
Spoilers, everyone knows that scene.
Yeah, well, she, I've said after stream last week that I think the films do a better job of her, at least in the second book, and well, probably the third book as well, because they expand upon her role, you know, because she has more scenes, you know, like more talk, she has more dialogue and more interactions with the other heroes and stuff, and more than just she's just a really popular person who everyone likes, you know. Who's also a badass warrior. Like they actually gave her a little more depth to her, I feel, in the film.
Indeed.
At least from my understanding, anyway.
I think in the film, like, they have a lot of reasons to kind of, you know, just changing of times and everything like that too.
Yeah, no, well, she was still like she's still a fighter. She did still kill like so many orcs and urks in the books and kill the Witch King, but it was still important to have her like in a more like, rather than just a 2D cutout of a woman, you know, like so to speak. They wanted a well-rounded character, someone who feels real, you know. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, she has the hots for Aragorn, who it's not really implied. I mean, it's not really clear if he's like attracted to her, but obviously like he's still in love with Arwen, so he would never betray that, because Aragorn's too much of a good guy, you know.
Yeah, he's already has one love, can't take another.
Exactly, yeah, Aragorn's too Mr. Nice, you know, which is good, you know, like we wouldn't want that. Yeah. So anyway, nighttime comes and they're all sleeping. Well, Aragorn's a bit restless and he's out with Legolas. I'm assuming, I don't think elves sleep in the Tolkien verse, you know. Maybe they're a bit like D&D elves, like they meditate for a few hours and then they that's all the rest they need. So he's out talking with Legolas outside. Pippin, like ever curious, finds the plant ear, has the look, and ends up getting seen by Sauron. Who here's the interesting thing: Tolkien wrote the plant ears. That's the balls, you know, where they could see stuff through. As like a plot device that gives you misinformation, that deliberately gives you misinformation. So with Sauron, he sees this ball and he immediately assumes that Pippin is the hobbit who has the ring, and he realizes this is Saruman's plant ear. So clearly Saruman has him in his custody. But why is he using the crystal ball? Has Saruman betrayed me? Little thoughts like that enter his mind. Then when they try to free him, Aragorn takes the plant ear off him, And then he sees like, oh, the descendant of my arch enemies is still alive. The guy who cut the ring off my hand in the first place, he's still alive. Shit. So is he working for Saruman as well? So yeah. And later in the film, where Denethor, in the films we don't see his Palantir, but in the books he has one as well. And when he uses it, he sees Frodo captured. So he immediately assumes that the enemy has the One Ring, whereas we already know Sam has the One Ring at that point. Yeah. So it's an interesting little thing. Like, it goes to show, like, don't always trust like what you see, you know, because your eyes can play tricks with you. It's a pretty cool little device that Tolkien put in there. So they realize that they're in trouble, but also they see a glimpse into the enemy's plan. They realize that they plan to attack Gondor, Minas Tirith, which is obviously, you will attack. If your enemy is literally like outside next door to you, they are logically the the first person you're going to attack, aren't they? You know.
Gotta go ahead and get those profits. Gotta take them out while you can.
Exactly. So yeah. They realize their plan is to destroy Minas Tirith, and we have a new person in the chat. Hello, Super Lemmy Andrew.
Hello.
They go there. Gandalf takes Pippin, and they ride off. Pippin, distraught that he's separated from Merry for like the first time ever. A great thing, you know, like in these books and films, is that Merry and Pippin start off as like little delinquents, you know, messing with Gandalf's fireworks. But as they go on for the book series, they become like little brave heroes, and then war heroes by the end. You know, it's
Indeed.
They have great developments. You know, those two. Like, you can't say a bad word about Merry and Pippin. Okay, you can say Pippin's a bit stupid, you know, like for being too curious, and Merry, he's a bit too brash for wanting to fight everything. But they're good boys, you know.
And yeah, they like to risk a lot.
Yeah.
Oh wait, he wanted to be. Oh no, I did not know that's what you wanted to do. I should have read that more carefully.
Yeah.
He's useless. Oh well.
Yeah. So they're on the way there, and Frodo and Sam Gollum. I'm gonna be a little more sparse with Frodo, Sam, and Gollum, because they are mostly just getting to Curfungal at this point. You know, trying to get to the big stairs, leading up the cliff face. There's not much to say except like Sam is obviously freaking suspicious of Gollum, because he overheard him talking about he plans to kill them. But Frodo's like, we have no choice, Sam. Okay, well, at least tie a leash on him, you know? You know you can't trust him.
Yeah, that's why I said, I'm not a big fan of Frodo in the series, at least in the movies. He's not a very likable character.
Yeah, I can understand, you know, I know a lot, I know plenty of people who feel the same. I said many times, I understand their reasons, you know, and I don't mind the reasons. I think they have good points why, but I understand, Frodo does get on your nerves quite a bit. And he gets a mine as well, especially in this one.
Wait, I'm not trying to arrange. Yeah. No, I want a guardian. Why are they trying to put him with a kit? What?
Let me just take a drink. Let me just take a swig of water, because no. There we go. Keep hydrated, everybody.
Indeed, stay hydrated. Drink your water. Drink your water.
It's mandatory that we have to say it every stream, of course.
Indeed,
yeah.
It's part of the water cult rules. Gotta encourage the healthy lifestyle.
You are contractually obligated to say it every stream, at least once.
Indeed, as the founder, I have to do it. Oh, this guy seems to have great qualities. He's greedy. He's content. I don't know what. How does this work?
Well, I didn't know.
No. Even better. He's greedy. He's content, and he's envious as well. But he's also just.
I didn't. Oh, he's just as well? Oh.
How? How do you mix all those qualities? They don't make sense together. Oh, and he's Roth as well. Don't worry about that.
I've noticed that's kind of the same with Crusader Kings 3 as well.
And unsurprisingly, he's stressed, because if you have that mixture of qualities, of course you're going to be stressed, because that's just a headache waiting to happen.
Yeah.
May God have mercy on my soul. Very good. And the Isle of Man. What a place to conquer that would be. Would you conquer the Isle of Man?
Yeah, you conquer all 2 feet of it. Yeah.
It looks like Irish land to me.
It's on the Irish Sea. I say it's free pickings, you know?
Free real estate.
Exactly. So, yeah, anyway, long story short, Theoden, he is not too keen of coming to the help of Gondor because, where was Gondor when the West fell? Where was Gondor? When this happened.
I was there, sir.
Yeah. So he's very salty that Gondor pretty much, like, ignored their pleas for help. You know, I suppose a little bit understandable, but they need Gondor to survive, all the same.
Oh, Connacht, you're growing too powerful. We will have to deal with you in time.
Gandalf and Pippin, they head out on Shadowfax. Oh, I forgot to mention Shadowfax, the white horse. Yes.
Indeed.
Well, Shadowfax is one of the Meras. That's like the horse princes. They're like essentially super horses, essentially. You know.
I see. So it was like My Little Pony before its time.
Yeah, before the glitter and stuff. Yeah.
I actually have no idea what happens in My Little Pony because like someone asked me to watch one episode, I couldn't even get through like 2 minutes of it. I was like, this is terrible. Why would you make me watch this?
I'm surprised. I'm surprised you took them on. Yeah.
I was like, I'll try it because I don't want to be like one of those people who's like, oh, yeah, it's trash without watching it. So I watched a few minutes and then said, okay, it's trash.
Yeah. I think it's probably one of those things like you're just gonna like it's made for a set audience, you know, like, and it's meant to be mainly for them, you know.
Indeed, and then there's a bunch of like 40-year-old men who also like it. And it's like, why, why? Stop.
Well, I mean, to each his own, I suppose. Like, yeah.
Indeed.
But yeah, the Meras, yeah. So Shadowfax is one of the Meras, and he's meant to be like the best of the Meras, and so very few people can ride him, especially unsaddled. And Gandalf is one of those people, of course.
Because Gandalf can do everything.
Yeah, Gandalf is the guy your girlfriend tells you not to worry about, you know.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, we all want to be Gandalf in some way, you know, like some form of Gandalf.
Indeed, I just like to say, "You shall not pass." So that's my way of being like Gandalf.
Yeah, you say that to your students all the time, going full beard, like, "You shall not pass."
Oh, I should totally do that when they're like late. They try to run in the classroom without saying the target sheet, like, "You shall not pass," and they're like, "The fuck is wrong with this guy?"
Yeah, and the floor falls and they all fall into an abyss below.
Can you imagine if you could actually do that and get away with that? Oh,
I'm sensing like a dark thought that you wished you could.
No, I would never do that. What? No.
Nah.
I only wish for them to learn and be educated peacefully.
Yeah.
And to be safe.
I wish the caning is back as well.
The caning? Oh, no, sir. We just use the ruler, obviously. It's much less painful. I can gain 5 piety, of course. Thank you.
So
Jesus
they
will save him from hell. There we go.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So Gandalf takes Merry and Pippin. Takes not Merry. Merry stays in Rohan. Takes Pippin to Minas Tirith, and it's amazing. Like they actually built that big door. You know.
I'm gonna be honest. When the two of them are there, I can't tell the difference between them. Like Merry Pippin.
Oh, Merry Pippin?
Yeah, I didn't watch it close enough to really remember which one was which.
Well, Pippin is the one with the Scottish accent. He's the one with the really thick Scottish accents, you know.
They don't both have the same accent.
No, they don't. No. Merry is like he's much lighter, you know. It's more of a like an determined Celtic attempt.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just don't remember one of them sounding like Sean Connery or anything.
No. It's not like a deep Scottish. It's more of a very light Scottish, you know.
Okay, I thought you were saying he sounded like. I'm trying to think of a line he says. Is he the one that goes to the
Minas Tirith, Gondor?
Yeah,
yeah, Gondor, yeah.
So he's that'd be kind of funny to see like those scenes actually in Sean Connery's accent now. I'm just thinking about that.
You know, fun fact. I think they like one of the early casting ideas was Sean Connery as Gandalf. You know.
Oh, I thought you were about to say Sean Connery as Pippin under Mario.
No. That ship is sailed. He's a bit.
No, as Frodo. Listen to me.
Yeah.
The ring is my bird. You
Mary.
can't have it.
Yeah. Mary! We still have the Shire, Mary! Shake it not still.
Oh, he's Smeagol. We can trust Smeagol. Don't worry. He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah. What about second breakfast?
I could have sworn I was in the Shire this morning.
Yeah. Here's the easy way to remember. Mary's the one who... sorry, Pippin's the one who asks about second breakfast. That's it.
Second breakfast. Yeah, I'll have to look at it again just to kind of remember them, because, like, they're both blonde, and, like, because, like, same in Frodo, one's blonde, one's
they're
one's
not blonde.
dark-haired,
They're
so...
like reddish hair. Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's like, no, they have reddish curly hair, yeah.
Are you sure?
I've seen this film many times. It's like a reddish brown, you know, like that. It's not blonde.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they're not blonde.
Next thing you're gonna say you're not blonde, are you?
I'm not.
I'm just kidding with that one. I know you're not. Punish her for her honesty. What? Come on, man. That's messed up. Praise her in front of the court. There you go. Look at my daughter. She's better than your daughter. Daughter fight. Dude, can we do that? Can we just have like jousting battles between daughters? That sounds like the best idea ever.
Is that how you clear up wars? You know, like instead of waste the entire manpower, just have like your daughters fight to the death. Whoever wins wins.
Okay, so let's see how many children I have now. Okay, so I have all these children. There you go. Very good. The youngest one is 0. The oldest one is 14. This is good. Yes. So much prosperity. Was I a good king?
Yeah, we will remember you as a peacemaker. Yeah.
But now I have, I think I'm about to have cancer. Oh no, I'm dead. Never mind. I didn't have cancer because I'm dead.
Yeah,
my poor wife, dude. Look at my wife. She's all by herself now. I mean, look at her. Poor girl.
All by myself.
And our 5 kids we had. By herself and the 5 kids we had.
Well, you have no shortage of heirs, my friend. You have no shortage of heirs, clearly.
Let's see here. This seems like a great idea. Let's do that.
Was it here? I kept the thing.
Let me check the chat real quick.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna send it in the Discord chat. Like, okay, yeah. So that's Mary to the left and Pippin to the right. Yeah.
Oh, let's take a look. You may call me Takashi or Ash. That's fine. Whichever is fine. Let me see here. Alright, so you said the one on the left is which? Yeah, they look blonde to me.
They're kind of reddish brown. Also, I think it's just the lighting that makes it look that
like
way.
On the left is definitely blonde. The right one I can see more is a brownish, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, okay. To be fair, Mary is a little more lighter in color, so okay, I'll give you that. You know, but yeah, Mary's the one to the left, and Pippin's the one to the right. So Pippin's the one who's in Gondor right now. Yeah.
They're taking the hobbits to Isengard.
Yeah, these are those hobbits. Yeah. Yeah. So Pippin and Gandalf, they enter Minas Tirith and they meet Denethor, who is distraught that his son Boromir is dead. Oh no! Yeah, his only son Boromir.
His only son.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least Denethor treats it that way. Yeah.
Oh dear. And then when his other son, well, we'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah, we will get that. Don't worry, I'll be quick. So, actually, we're doing good time, you know. I'm not taking as long talking about the fucking history of Arda, you know, this time.
The entire history.
Yeah, but yeah, Pippin, unfortunately, he swears allegiance to Denethor, you know, to work him out of his grief. Not realizing that Denethor is batshit insane, you know.
It'd probably be good to realize that.
Yeah, because Denethor, he doesn't want to light the beacons to send for help for Rohan, and because he doesn't like the idea of Aragorn coming back and taking over as ruler, the actual king, you know. And so Gandalf and Pippin, they are stuck in Gondor because, well, if they leave, Gondor's fucked. Also, we have a new person in the chat. Hello, Unknown Prowess. Welcome.
Welcome. We are out to become a holy person.
All right.
Oh, not yet. Actually, let's focus on business first. There we go. Perfect.
Right. So when that's happening, Gandalf and Pippin, they're just waiting, and he tells Pippin to light the beacons because war has been declared. The orcs are now attacking Osgiliath, ever so slowly, and Sam, Frodo, and Gollum are making their way up the stairs of Cirvungol. So when the beacons are this epic scene, like where Pippin lights the beacons, and we just see it travel through miles and miles. It's a really cool scene, just like traveling through mountains and mountains and mountains. You gotta wonder, like, how does that work? Like, do they do some guys stay up there on a weekend, or is it like a daily switch?
Yeah, it's a part-time job.
Yeah, because I imagine it's not the best place to be staying, for long periods on a big tall mountain up in the cold.
I think you could have some fun. Just bring up some movies, just chill, maybe play some video games. It's fine. They totally have video games in that world, right?
Well, there's numerous problems with that in this time period,
Oh, dear.
Unfortunately, like, they wouldn't have much to do.
Heaters? Room heaters.
Yeah, like, they don't have houses from what I've seen of that, so...
oh dear. How about hot tubs?
Yeah, they're fucked up there.
Oh.
I wonder, like, how much a person must hate you to assign you to that freaking duty, Like, all right, you go up to Mount, fucking freezing, and you stay until you see a beacon lit.
There you go. I just appointed my kinsman here. Look, all the rulers in the nearby area, except for this one dude, are all part of my family.
Oh.
This guy's the only one that's not, so I'll invade him. He seems like the best guy to invade. See, this guy's also part of my family. A lot of people, a lot of the family.
Y'all be part of the Takashi family now. If you're not, I'll make you a part of the family.
It's actually the O'Neill family.
Yeah.
We can change that though if you wanted to be called the Takashi family. We can change the O'Neill to
No. I was just saying it because it was the first thing that popped ahead. That's all. Like the O'Neill. I know it's the O'Neill, but yeah. Welcome to the family, son.
Are you an O'Neill?
Actually, my cousin is an O'Neill, so descendant. Yeah.
There you go. He's gonna try to conquer all of Ulster.
Yeah. He's actually heading off to Liverpool in a few days because he was actually meant to head off earlier in the year, but because of COVID, he had to wait. And it was like a job thing, So in the 15th, he'll be off there for a year. So yeah. I wish him all the best.
Indeed, congratulations. Is he Pictish? Because look how big the Picts are. Look at them. Pretty big.
No, he ain't no Pict.
Are there Picts left in Scotland? Any of those left? Running around doing Pictish things?
No. I think like they're. I think there's more chances of people being Puritan being around than the Picts at this point.
Puritan Picts.
Well, that'd be a bizarre combination.
Indeed, they're Catholic in this game.
Right, I see.
A lot of Catholics. Catholics. You ever met a Catholic before?
Well, I mean, I've met many. Yeah, being
see.
one,
Indeed. Because let me show you. Actually, I'll show you in just a moment. I just need to send all these guardians. Oh, okay, there we go. Very good. Bam. There's a lot of Catholics.
That's a lot of them. Yeah.
Indeed. And then the Orthodox are actually in the middle of the iconoclast right now, unfortunately. So they have some issues. Some issues going on over here. Actually, what is going on over here? It looks a little messed up. Looks a little janky. Oh, okay. It's that this land was conquered by the Islamic invaders, because look how big the Abbasids are. It's a big empire there.
Right. Gotcha. Alrighty, so anyway, what's happening next? Oh yes, Aragorn notices the beacons have lit, and he rushes over to Theoden, says, "The beacons have been lit! Gondor calls for aid!" And Theoden, you can see...
Rohan shall answer.
Yeah, that's an epic scene, because you can tell, he's tempted to say, fuck him, he's tempted. But looks around, reads the room, and he's like, you know what? If I'm going out, I'm going out with a bang. You know, this is my time to shine. And Rohan will answer, Master the Rohirrim. Yeah. It's an awesome scene.
Indeed.
And a bit of narrative parallel with Pippin being a steward of Gondor now. Not steward, sorry. Well, he's a squire to Gondor. That's it. Yeah, because Denethor's the steward, ruling over Gondor because they have no king. Merry becomes a steward of Rohan, more or less just out of like Theoden, just out of kindness, you know, like not really being a fighter, you know, just
Indeed.
So they all ride off and start gathering all the men of all of Rohan and are about to cross Gondor's borders. Yes. But, so in the end, they only get 6,000 spears, half of what Theoden had hoped for. Ooh, yeah.
And is it enough to save Gondor?
Oh, yeah, we'll find out soon enough. However, the men and the horses are restless under the shadow of the mountain because, there's a dark curse there. There are ghosts waiting beyond.
Spooky, spooky.
Yeah. Yeah, in the mountain. Men of the mountains, yes.
Ooh, the mountain men with their beards.
Yeah, we find out later that these were men, you know, like, who promised to help Isildur during the Second Age to fight Sauron. But when their time was needed, they decided not to, and Isildur put a curse on them, meaning that they are forever to not die. So they've been on that mountain for 2,000 years, roughly.
You know, just a short stint, just a little bit.
Yeah. So they're just trapped up there, waiting. You know, like, so they cannot be freed until, you know, like the king or his heirs free them of their oath. Yeah. So
Fun.
So Osgiliath gets attacked back to Gondor. Osgiliath gets attacked, gets overrun, and Faramir and what's left of his troops, they have to retreat because, well, the Nazgul showed up. Pretty much not one of them has a way to fight a Nazgul, like, especially on their fell beasts.
What if you punch it?
Well, you have to get close, and I wouldn't want to get close to a Nazgul and its fell beast. The fell beasts are those.
Saitama would. Saitama could just punch it.
Well, Saitama is a superhuman person, you know, like he. Unfortunately, these are just regular people, you know, regular soldiers. Yeah, they're not. They're probably the best of Gondor's military, but there's not many of them left. So they run off because Osgiliath is completely overrun. Gandalf comes in and saves them from the Nazgul because they hate the light of the sun still, all the same. And then he reports that Frodo and Sam are alive. They're heading up to Cirith Ungol. And he tells Denethor, Faramir tells his father that about the One Ring and everything. Denethor's not happy, so he orders Faramir to send his best troops to take over Osgiliath, which is not a good plan that works out because, well, all those archers are ready for them, and they're essentially just charging in directly in front of Arrow. So it's essentially sending your men over the top into machine gun fire.
Sounds like even more brilliant strategy. Good deal. We love all this brilliant strategy goes on in the series here.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it seems like Tolkien had knew enough to know when to punish the heroes. You know, like whenever they did something stupid, you know, like, boom, boom, dead.
Indeed. I mean, to be honest, his dad kind of forced him into it, but he could have just said, "No, Dad, I'm not going to listen to you."
Well, he is. Yeah, that is true, but you know what Faramir, you know, like he was probably like very distraught, you know, like his father essentially just said like he wished Boromir survived and Faramir had died instead.
Yeah, he's a pretty rude dude.
Yeah, Denethor's an asshole, just absolutely. Unknown Prowess asks, "What is this game about? I've never seen it before." So, take it away.
It's about being a medieval feudal lord, and doing what medieval feudal lords do. Conquering people, making your land prosperous, shagging people you probably shouldn't be shagging, you know, the usual. Yeah. I'm just a peaceful Irish lord. I never hurt anyone. I totally didn't take this land from someone else. This has just always been mine.
Yeah, shit, man, I just realized the stream title is Roger the Dodger Part 2.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Oh shit. I just noticed that.
I completely forgot about that. I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can change it here. Let me change that.
I think you should still be able to change it. I mean,
Yes.
it'd be stupid if YouTube couldn't, you know.
Tolkien.
Yeah. Sorry if anyone was misled there. Sorry, this is not part 2 of Raja Dodger. That happened last Wednesday.
Indeed. Actually, let's call it. Actually, no. Oh, it's probably more accurate to say this. Aha. There we go. Perfect.
Maybe I need to refresh to see it, so let me just refresh it.
Lord of the Rings chat.
There we are. Yeah, I see it. There we go. It's all fixed. All right, we're back now.
It's a good thing you noticed it so
Apologies.
quickly after the stream started, my friend. Yes.
Yeah.
No, we've barely been here. The stream just started. Yes, of course.
All right, so I got to start all over again. Okay,
Indeed.
so Helm's Deep.
So there were about a couple hobbits. They went on an adventure. They saw some things, did some stuff, ran into
Blah,
some
blah,
overpowered
blah.
human, an
Here we
overpowered
are, Return of the
elf,
King.
and an overpowered dwarf. And yeah, I think that's where we got to where we are now, right?
Yeah, definitely. Alrighty-o. So, okay, so Rohan, they're on their way to Gondor. Well, they're still finalizing what men they have. Faramir and his men have been mostly slaughtered. Faramir's alive, but like he's returned unconscious and badly wounded. And there are thousands and thousands of orcs just waiting right outside Minas Tirith, ready to wreck their shit. And what they don't know is, in fact, ships of Easterlings are on their way as well. And also, Easterlings on elephants are also charging in, just fully to destroy Minas Tirith and the Gondor race.
That's a little rude.
Yeah. I suppose like that really goes to show you Sauron was really the most the smartest in terms of tactical advantages, because he was the one who was like, all right, I'm just going to wait 2,000 years and build up the biggest fucking army this world has ever seen and just dogpile everyone at once.
Well, to be fair, I don't really think humans can exactly wait 2,000 years. They don't really have that lifespan.
No. When I say wait 2,000 years, he built up like cults and like other things. Like built up like spawning thousands of orcs. And just training them. Like, I mean, orcs, I think they don't live as long as, like, they live as long as humans, I think. Like, they're not immortal like elves, but, you know what I mean? Like, if you had, like, an empire that could last that long and you could just build it up and up and up and up, you know? Yeah, it would be very fortified. In fact, Sauron would win, but his problem is, he's too arrogant. He thinks, you know, like, he wins, you know, like, that he can just easily crush everyone, so he gets cocky and he's like, all right, I'll just send like a fifth of my forces here and see if they can fight them off. Oh, what are they gonna do?
Yeah, it's like, what can you do, sir? Nothing at all.
Yeah, because if he fought through this tactically, he would have just defeated everyone. He would have just conquered all of Middle Earth. You know, because he has so much, you know, I got his beck and call. But yeah. Anyway, Arwen, on her way to the ships to the Undying Lands, she sees a vision because she inherited that gift from her father, the gift of foresight, to see glimpses of the future. She sees a possible future of Aragorn with their son. So, taking this one chance, she returns back to Elrond, says, "I'm not leaving, and I choose immortal life." And that's what happens. She gave up her elven life to be mortal. Yeah, to be mortal. It's a bit of a mystery how she's able to do this, but she is a descendant of a lot of incidents, a lot of a family tree of half-elves, including her father. And like I said last week, half-elves have the ability to choose to either remain elven or human. So it's theorized that because she has enough of that half-elven blood in her, she can make that choice, you know.
Indeed.
So that's probably how she's able to do that. So the light of the Eldar leaves her, so she's just mortal now. And Elrond, not wishing for his daughter to die, he goes to Aragon and he forges the Narsil into a new blade, ready for him. I forget its name because it's tricky to pronounce every name in Lord of the Rings, you know.
Indeed,
It's hard
they
to
do have
remember
some
all
difficult
this.
names sometimes.
Yeah, but it's awesome. Another little interesting thing here is at this point in the books, from the first book, from Fellowship of the Ring, Aragon already had Narsil reforged from the first book onward, so he already has it at this point. In the film, I guess they wanted to make in the films they wanted to make Aragon more. They wanted to give him a chip on his shoulder, you know, like make him hesitant to become king. Because in the books, it makes it seem like, oh, he's ready to become king. He just, you know, like he just needs to do these sort of things first, you know. Whereas this, he's hesitant to become king, you know, and
Yeah.
taking the sword, it's symbolic of him accepting that role, become, you know, putting aside the ranger, become who he was born to be. Yeah.
Indeed. So in the book, he's just kind of like, yeah, this is right.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm
Like he
meant to be
says, like
king. That's
reforge
my
my
job.
sword. Great.
But in the movie, he's like, I don't know. I kind of like the whole being a nameless traveler kind of deal.
Yeah, mostly because you know, his family line, you know, like especially descended from a Isildur, is like a descendant of failure, you know, because he knows that they have like a weakness, like well, they all have a weakness, all men, and not just the Dunedain, you know, like for the One Ring, you know. So he's probably like self-conscious of that. A great thing that's subtly shown for these three films is that, you know, Aragon, he does like we see him like develop more as a leader, because in Fellowship, Gandalf is the leader of the Fellowship at that point. But when Gandalf passes away, it's Aragon who says, "Yeah, let's leave Frodo and Sam. I trust them. Like, let's hunt some orcs and save Merry and Pippin." And then he is the one who leads. He's pretty much the one who's leading the battle in Helm's Deep. You know, Theoden even recognizes this pretty much. Like, without Aragon, they wouldn't have won that. And Return of the King is just cementing Aragon's leadership skills. That he is, yeah, this guy is a king, you know. He fits the role perfectly. It's a great progression, honestly, and I'm glad they did that. Yeah. Right. So Gimli, and Legolas, they go into the mountain. I'm a little confused why they didn't just say, you know, hey, we're going to get some reinforcements, you know,
So they just kind of like leave in the dead of night without saying anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they pretty much just leave the dead at night without saying where they're going, and they just think they abandoned them. I think Theoden's the only one who kind of gets the hint that, oh yeah, they'll be back, because he kind of knows them. I should also mention that, you know, like Arwen just before then, you know, like she you know, like all the soldiers are kind of like joking to themselves that, you know, like Merry shouldn't be, you know, like armed up for battle. Like, he's a little hobbit. What's he gonna do? He can't even reach an orc for how small he is, you know. And then she kind of like says like, yeah, why is Merry like the one? You know, why can't Merry fight? You know, like, for people he loves? You know, why does he have to say like? She's really talking about herself. You know, it's a clever little dialogue there she has with her brother.
Yeah.
And then when she more or less confesses to Aragon, you know, like we just see her. Oh, it's like, oh, it's so sad because you just see her heart just being, you know, like torn apart when, you know, he's like sorry, but I'm kind of seeing someone else, you know. Yeah.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, I'm sure there's someone out for you, you know, like, yeah, chin up, and he leaves.
There are
like,
plenty of fish in the sea, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then, you know, like, she's left, and her uncle, like, she asks like what duty, you know, like, she would want, and her uncle Theoden's like, duty? No. I want you to return to Edoras, lead our people, and I would like to see you smile again, you know, because he doesn't want her in combat either.
Yeah.
And of course, like, he tells Merry he can't go into war either. But good old Arwen, she suits up and she takes Merry in secret. I'm impressed, actually, because it must take like several days to get to Gondor, and no one notices that, you know, the the king's niece is with them.
Very secretive.
I suppose there is 6,000 of them, and I suppose not everyone knows what the king's niece looks like, but you know, it's still it's still kind of funny when you think about it.
Indeed. Oh. Oh no.
Oh, what happened?
The Swedes are invading. How big are the Swedes?
The Swedes?
Oh dear. The Vikings.
That's not very Swede.
The Vikings are coming. The Vikings are coming.
All right. Okay. Right. The Vikings are coming.
But look how much of Ireland I've united. Look how great and powerful we are now.
All right. I mean, don't worry. They're just pretty much like glorified pirates. You're good.
With a lot of land. These are some very rich, powerful pirates.
Oh shit. Okay, these are super Vikings. All right.
And they're not. I don't even know they're really considered Vikings yet, because the Viking era hasn't even started. But yet they're already this powerful. This is not a good sign.
All right. Okay, these are the pre-Vikings. Gotcha.
We'll see. We'll see how far we can go. We'll see how powerful we can become. Yes, that's fine. Do that,
Right.
my son.
I'm just gonna head to the bathroom real quick. Be back in a moment, and we will continue.
Very well, sir. I will view the chat while he's gone here, see if anyone said anything. No comments recently. But yes, again, this game is kind of just a game where you play as a feudal lord, you do what you like. Again, there's a lot of twists and things like that to be highly morally questionable in real life, but in a game, it's just a game. So you do whatever. Okay, let's see here. Blessed. Who? Some Englishman, I guess. I don't see what this has to do with me. Alright. Good for him, I suppose. My son is not landed. Well, that's too bad. Yeah, but he doesn't really like me very much, so, what about no? Indeed. But this man has an infection. I don't know if he'll survive long enough to actually take over, because I probably won't be dying for a while. I'm only 46. Well, my last guy died at 40, so who can say? But my last guy caught something weird. Con Faklad. Sure, why not? Sounds fine. Oh wait, no, this is the guy that's asking. Okay, yeah, you can do it. It's fine. Adventurer threats. Bruh. You really want to come over here from here and attack me? Bro, it's not even an adventure threat, that's like literally a neighbor. I will destroy you. You will not be able to take over my lands, bro. Okay, let's see here. Oh dear, I hope he's not prone to accidents. That would be very terrible. Oh no. This guy's not actually all that great. Can we marry him off to someone? There we go. Go over there, buddy. Have a good life. Oh, wait. That was a terrible mistake. Sorry, let me change that real quick. If I still can. Yes, there you go.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Alrighty, right. So, excuse me, sorry. Right. So Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas they go into the mountains, and they find the door to this underground kingdom. And it says the writing on top says the way is shut, the made by those who are dead, and the dead keep it. The way is shut. And much like any spooky sentence or quote, there is always that gust of wind with that little ominous howl in the background.
Oh dear.
Which is a cliche, but it's a cool cliche all the same,
Indeed.
Yeah. And they all go in. Gimli has this moment of like, oh, this is unheard of. Yeah, an elf going to ground, where a dwarf dare not. Oh, I'll never hear the end of it. He goes right in.
That scene was quite
go
funny.
in. Yeah. I do like, the relationship between Legolas and Gimli in these, they start off like hating each other's guts, and as they went on, they had this friendly rivalry of who could get the most kills, and they actually learn to respect each other, despite their racist animosity between each other. Because the thing with Tolkien, like I think he might have been the first one to create that whole stereotype that dwarves and elves hate each other in fantasy, because I don't know if that was ever established before Tolkien's time. I could be entirely wrong, but yeah.
Don't know, because I don't know how long, because elves have many different forms. The term elf is kind of broadly used to describe this vaguely magical being.
Because I think one of the early, because I mean, when I say elf, I mean the kind of the pointy ear, semi-magical fairies. When I say fairies, I mean F-A-E, not the pixie fairy. I mean fairy in the broad term of magical being, sort of fantastical immortal being, spirit almost. I think the early one of the early ones was from the Book of Invasions, which is sort of a pseudo-historical book about Ireland and the many races that invaded and inhabited it. I say pseudo-historical because they throw in these precursor to the elves and other giants and demons and sorts that populated Ireland before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You've probably seen the video by Overly Sarcastic Productions. They did that video, the Book of Invasions.
I've seen so many of their videos. I honestly,
it's a very recent one. It's one of their most recent ones. It's a 10-minute long one. Red pretty much breaks it down. pretty well.
Sure. Not sure if I've seen that. Is it just
it's the one where it's the one where she's complaining about how the pronunciation of the Fomora, the demon race.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, and one of the races are very similar to the elves and that. So yeah, I think that's when elves came about. Dwarves are Viking. They're I think dwarves are always called dwarf though. All the time. No, wait. I think Vikings had their own form of elf. I think that's where elf mate came from. Yeah, but I don't think they had the same animosity between the two because I think Norse dwarves they can turn into dragons sometimes. Which
That'd
is
be
pretty
quite
interesting.
the transformation.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so the whole reason between the animosity between the dwarves and the elves just goes back to years of history that Tolkien wrote, dedicated his life to. That they just hate each other because it's kind of your great grandfather killed my great grandfather, and vice versa. Pretty much, there's a lot of bad blood between these two that just goes back years and years and years. And the thing is, there are multiple types of elves, multiple types of dwarves, but for some reason, only two of these house, one elf house and one dwarf house clashed with each other, but because of years of animosity with each other, they just associate all dwarves as that asshole house and all elves as that asshole house. It's that kind of miscommunication.
Indeed. But I mean, they do dislike each other, but at the same time, you do see times where they work together in the past, and then of course where they do work together against like the actual bad dudes, like the orcs and all that.
Oh yeah, like I mean, there's they realize that they're on the same side, but they still hate each other. It's that sort of thing. And if they have to go to war with each other, they probably wouldn't, hesitate. But it's great to see, like that Gimli and Legolas, like probably like the two best fighters of each side, who were probably raised to hate the other. Like just bond, over their hatred of the orcs and Urks, and just become friends as the series goes on.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of the best friendships, honestly.
Good bit of progress.
Yeah. Oh, another new person in the chat. Hello. Forgive me, I cannot pronounce. Forgive me, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of your name. Jacek Pilquo.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean that. Yeah, that seems about right. Probably 320.
Yeah.
320. I don't know what that's a reference to.
Likewise, yeah. But anyway, yeah. Welcome to the stream. We're just talking about Lord of the Rings while Taka plays Crusader Kings 2.
Indeed,
and,
very Lord of the Rings like. Actually, there's probably a mod for this to make it like Lord of the Rings. Might try that. Next time.
I could see that. I could see that happening. I mean, that would be fascinating. Like, like Theoden has been killed. Yeah, his niece now takes over.
Well, I assume it'd be more like, just like it's like Crusader Kings, but like with like Lord of the Rings characters and Lord of the Ring map.
I
of
think
course, after 100 years, none of the Lord of the Rings characters would still be alive, but their houses would be.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, hello, Scarwolf19. Welcome.
Actually, they might modify it to make the elves immortal. I'm not sure how they would go about that.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I know like the Tolkien estate, they are very tight-fisted with like certain adaptations. I know some adaptations like they're very loose with the canon sometimes, but when you're making up new houses and new names and family trees, they take that very seriously. So you can't just make up like a family tree and just expect the Tolkien estate to be happy with it. No, you have to clear with them first.
Well, the mods are kind of just made by people. They're actually made by the companies themselves, so it's kind of like there's less control on them, I guess. You could
know,
say.
yeah. When they're mods, that's fine, but that's probably why we don't see like an official one, because if they did, like there'll be we'll probably never see that light of day, because the Tolkien estate, like they I think they hate most, like 90% of all adaptations of their work, because, well, I guess like they're just I don't know what it is. That just seems to be the norm with most authors of stuff.
Yeah.
They just hate adaptations of anything in their work, even if it's good or not.
It's quite rough.
But yeah, like, so if you were to go and pitch the idea of like a Crusaders King sort of thing, except the Lord of the Rings universe, yeah, they're more likely going to say no, because they're going to have to go through like years and thousands of years of their own Tolkien lore history just to make this, So I think it's the same with Star Wars as well, because like with the new canon, everything, like, they have to keep track of so much, that they have. So creating whole new races and whole new names, you have to go through all this family tree and shit. Like, fuck. How do you keep your sanity?
Indeed. Let's see. So this guy is a Qatar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Burn the heretic. There we go. Rest in peace.
All right. So they meet the people of the mountain. They're all the dead ghosts, and just about make it out before like they end up like killing them accidentally by caving in their little cave.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So Aragorn makes the promise of like if they fight for them, they will he will hold their oaths fulfilled and free them from this hell of undeath. And you gotta wonder why they even bother to even think about it. Surely he's like, hey, this guy is clearly the king. you know, the descendant of like Isildur, he could free us. So why do we even need to talk about this? Yeah, let's do this. What do we have to lose? Nothing.
They lose their immortality though.
Well, the thing is, they're not really immortal. They're undead, and they're just restless. You know, like they get no peace or anything. So it's not a pleasant existence. They want to pass on, you know. So I guess like they just wanted to be dicks, you know. They wanted at least to have the final word.
Yeah.
So they let them think like they failed. Then they pop out and they're like, "We will fight." Yeah. Now they'll help out.
Indeed.
So Denethor, he's back in Gondor. Denethor is freaking out. He's no, he cares about Faramir. No, he's like, oh, my line has ended. My last son is dead. Oh no. Looks out. He ignores Pippin. You know, when Pippin's clearly saying he's alive. You know. And he looks out, and there's all there's thousands and thousands of orcs as far as the eye can see, attacking Minas Tirith. And he's telling them all to abandon their posts, flee for your lives. As soon as he turns around,
like full
Gandalf lays into him.
Oh man, full madman.
Yeah. You gotta admit, when you were watching that scene, you saw Gandalf just beat him up with his staff. That was just so good, wasn't it? You know,
It's like, yes, you deserved this.
Yeah. Yeah. So Gandalf kicks his ass, and he's like, "Prepare for battle!" And he's riding around Minas Tirith. He's the one who's like guiding all the soldiers, holding them by the hand. Because you've probably noticed the Gondor soldiers, they're not exactly very well versed in tactics, you know, because like or are very good fighters. Because as soon as they're told to flee, they run away. But when Gandalf says return to your post, they're like, "Oh, okay."
Well, if Gandalf tells me to.
Yeah, they fend off as best they could. Nazgul attack, the trolls attack, but nothing seems to be breaching their walls. Nothing's breaking down the doors. And then they call like this big battering ram, you know, Grond, this big fiery battering ram, to break down the doors of Gondor. And it looks like it's the one thing that will break through. This is more or less the halfway point, but just before that, let's quickly cut back to Frodo and Sam and Gollum. Right, another interesting thing from the books here. In the books, Gollum has tried several times to try and split Sam and Frodo up, but he always fails. He never succeeds. He never succeeds in trying to split them up. So Sam and Frodo are actually together throughout the entire trip, more or less. Except for the part where Frodo gets attacked by, well, I mean, even like in the caves, like with Shelob the spider, Sam is there, but Frodo still gets stunned and gets carried off by the orcs, and that's the only time they get separated. In the film, they wanted to at least like give Gollum like not just make Gollum like a nuisance, you know. They want to make Gollum like a legit threat to their friendship, you know, like he's pouring seeds of doubt into Frodo, saying Sam wants the ring, and because Frodo's in such a fragile state of mind, you know, he pretty much believing anything at this point. And then he frames Sam for like eating the bread, and Frodo just tells him, "Yeah, go home, Sam." Like, really?
Indeed, because Frodo is a traitor.
Yeah. Actually, another cool thing is when they were filming that, this is some movie magic right here. They filmed that scene years apart. You know, they filmed all Frodo's scene like well, not years apart, but like a year before they filmed Sam scenes. You know. So like all the shots with Frodo talking to Sam, that was like a year apart from the shots they had with Sam.
Why'd they do that?
I think it was like mostly because this was a very like tight shoot. You know, they had to be filming all the time. So and they had 15 months to do this. So they filmed all of it back to back. So they kind of had to shoot in a very non-linear style. That's what a lot of films do. But this is like 3 big films, so they did that. And also New Zealand, the weather was at its worst then. There was like floods, you know. So they rented out this like this hotel like cricket not cricket. Sorry, no, it's like a badminton like hall or something, or a tennis hall. They rented it for a whole year with their whole set, and I get thankfully the hotel the hotel owners were nice enough to keep it there for a whole year. I can't remember the exact reason why they need to do it that way, but yeah, when you look at that film, like, and you see Frodo talking to Sam, that's like they're separated by a whole year. That whole conversation, that's amazing.
Yeah. That is a pretty crazy way to do a shoot, though.
Oh yeah, like clearly super tense, you know, like. But thankfully, that's why you have assistant directors and you have people who keep an eye on the script, you know.
It's almost like COVID-19 levels of doing it, right? Like doing it like where you're not in the same location. Wait, what?
Yeah.
What? What?
What happened?
Okay. So
What happened?
Saxony is an empire. Well, a grand chief. It's a grand tribal society.
That's pretty grand, yeah.
And they're over here in this portion as well, like over in the Maghreb. And over here, they're Muslim. I'm very confused. The rest of them are Nordic, so I have no idea what's going on. It's weird. Would that happen in the Tolkien universe?
Frick, man, like, I can't even, like, get my mind out everything you're talking, like, fuck, I can barely remember, like,
are there
all
even
this
religions?
stuff.
Like, are there distinct religions, or no?
In this game?
No, in Lord of the Rings. Obviously in this game there are. Come on, man.
Like, different, sorry, I wasn't fully registering, like, in different religions in Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, like, or like do all humans follow the same religion, or do they have like different religions, or?
I imagine like the Easterlings, they'd probably have their own, because the thing is, Sauron, he's like, okay, Morgoth, the first Dark Lord I mentioned in the first stream last week, he's meant to be like the Lucifer archetype, you know, the one who's fallen from grace, and, you know, like, he's like, I could do a better job than the god than our creator, you know. I will be, you know, like, he who's most high, you know, and he's cast down and imprisoned in his own, like, little hell. His servant Sauron, he's meant to be more of like the idea of man rejecting God, rejecting religion, you know, like the idea of that, you know, like all the Valar and Eru, the creator, they they done a shit job, you know, like, so we should just you should just serve me. I'm the one who clearly knows how to guide you all, you know. It's like a nihilistic sort of like idea of the Ubermensch, I think it's called, the idea of like not believing in a god type. So there is sort of like a sects of religion in Tolkien's verse, you know. I mean, I think like there are certain sects like who worship certain Valar over others. Like there were ones who worshipped Morgoth, the Dark Lord, over the good Valar and the neutral Valar.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's also ones who, like, there were ones who worshipped Sauron more as a god, even though he was more just an angel creature, like, who was trying to overthrow all the gods. Like, well, not really overthrow them, but more or less like move all the worship to him, you know, because like he's the new top dog, you know. It's once again, it's deep lore. You gotta like dive in. Like I've heard it all. I've listened to it all before, but it's hard to keep track of it. It's so much. We're talking. It's so much to remember it all. Even the prequel book I'm reading right now, the Silmarillion. I can never pronounce it. It's such a bizarre word. Like I'm only 5 hours into it. There's like another 8 hours left. There's so much in this fucking thing.
A big book.
It's huge. The whole Tolkien verse, you know. But yeah, there definitely was, you know. And I would say like there probably were those who worshipped deities who probably didn't exist, but they still believe they exist. in Tolkien's verse, you know, who's to say? He mostly focused on those who were in Middle Earth, so that's all we really know about. We don't really know much about what lies beyond that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's safe to say, outside of that, yeah, very likely. Very likely, yeah.
Indeed.
All the same.
Because, yeah, because the gods are actually known in that world, so I guess it kind of would make it more...
Yeah. Mostly known by the elves. The humans, I think he wanted to make it deliberately, sort of like, they came after the elves and after the dwarves. So, they are a little more, they don't know as much about them. They're more mysterious to them.
Yeah.
So, if there's any race that would have different factors of religion, it would be the humans over all the other ones. Because pretty much for all the other races, they know, they've seen them.
Indeed.
Yeah. Radio. So, Gollum takes poor Frodo up into the cave, Shelob's lair. Sam, he's descending down, and he only now discovers that Gollum has thrown the elven bread off the side of the cliff. Poor Sam, I guess he was just so distraught, like, he didn't realize, yeah, like, I mean, obviously Gollum did, so, like, I wonder why he didn't just still, like, follow them anyway, you know?
Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, poor Sam, you know, he's heartbroken, you know, like, he wasn't thinking straight, you know? We'll give him a pass, you know?
Sam just needs a little bit of a break. How?
Yeah, Sam needs...
This
Yeah.
kid,
Oh.
how does he already have... What happened, kid? What are you up to? You're 6. What are you doing? Do you see
Oh,
this
no.
kid?
What's going on? What's happened?
He has the Great Pox and he's only 6.
What? Oh, man.
Oh man, what a crazy
They
kid.
call-
This kid died.
You call that a leader? Oh, man.
My goodness. What are you doing
don't
with
ma-
your life?
Yeah. They don't make leaders like they used to.
Indeed.
Shameful display. So, yeah, he leads, Gollum leads Frodo into the cave. Frodo, like, knowing there's no way, like, there's no other way, goes through, and, runs into Shelob. Okay, so the whole deal is, like, reason why Shelob goes after Frodo, instead of Gollum is, well, it's kind of basically obvious. When you look at Frodo, and you look at Gollum, and if you're a giant, like, hungry spider, what looks tastier, you know?
Probably Golem.
Really, Gollum's really all skin and bones, really. Like, and he looks very unappealing. Like,
What,
Frodo,
you don't think
like,
Golem is like the
he's
most
pink-
attractive thing in the world?
If you ask Liam, maybe.
Oh dear, I didn't know Liam was into that kind of thing.
No. I'm being unfair. No. Liam loves the character, but not to that extent. No, let's not be unfair to Liam. No. Yeah. So in the Tolkien verse, I believe actually in the books, it makes it clear that that Shelob is capable of some form of speech, sorta. At least not to the extent of like how Shadow of War makes it like that. She can take on a physical humanoid form, you know, because that's a bit much. No, Gollum, like, she can communicate in some way, and she pretty much allows Gollum safe passage through her cave if he brings back an occasional tasty snack for her.
Indeed.
So Frodo is able to fend off Shelob a wee bit using the Light of Arendelle, which I established is like the light of the star, which is one of the Silmarils, which was so powerful that it actually burned the first Dark Lord's hand by even holding it. So it's understandable how this light is like pushing back this entity. So it's not just a bright light, you know.
You must be careful.
Yeah, so Frodo just barely makes it out. That scene always makes me go, huh, because you can just see Shelob in the background as Frodo's stuck in the big webs. You know, it's like, oh god, he is so fucked. You know,
He got lucky.
But, yeah, he did get lucky. Loses his sword and his light, because I guess like when you see like a giant fucking like spider like twice the size of you. Like you would run, like for your life. And Gollum meets him outside. Tries to take the ring. Frodo knocks him back, and then he admits to him that he's going to destroy it. And you gotta wonder, like, what was going through Gollum's mind? Like, why else would he be trying to take the ring to Mordor? He's not giving it to Sauron. He knows that much. But why would he try to take the ring to Mordor, other than to destroy it?
So both my grandchildren died. That were there. People messed up people, man.
Died or were murdered?
Yeah, they were murdered, bro. One of them died comatose in bed, so that one may not have been killed, but this one died in suspicious circumstances. I'm like, they killed a 10-year-old girl. I'm like, bruh.
Crusader Kings, man. Crusader Kings.
People are messed up. Killing children.
Damn, like, for now on, like, 5,000 guards at each freaking location where you keep your children.
Yeah, and these are my grandchildren, so they weren't even near me. And they were German too.
Oh, no, that's okay then.
Like, oh, they were German, whatever. They started 2 world wars anyways. It's just for German. Even though they didn't actually start it, they were just blamed for it. But who cares? But there isn't even a Germany. That doesn't really exist in this timeline. Look
what do we have instead? What is there? What do we got?
I mean, Saxony exists, but they're not Christian. They're pagan still.
Alright.
West Francia exists, which West Francia is all of this. This blue blob over here is all West Francia. There's Pomerania, which...
The Pomeranians?
They're Slavic. They're not even German. So yeah, I think all the Germans are... I'm not even sure where the Germans are outside of Saxony. I think that were Christian Germans, but I'm not sure.
Maybe they're time travelers. They came back from the future, or like an alternate reality.
Maybe that's why my granddaughter was assassinated. Let's see. Where is this land? Weinberg. Yeah, so it is in Francia.
Ah, right.
There you go.
Okay. So Frodo, he knocks Gollum down this dark little hole. It's amazing he survives. And Galadriel psychically gives him a pep talk to press onwards, and he does so. And then just avoiding cross-cutting, I'll just skip straight to the point where Shelob sneaks out and stuns him and starts wrapping him up in her webs.
That's not very nice.
Yeah, that's another scene that freaks me out. Just you see this giant fucking spider just slowly sneaking up to him. It's like, ugh, god, no. And then just stunning him. But who comes to save Frodo? Who comes, saves him at his dire moment? None other than our boy, Samwise the Brave.
Samuel. Yeah. I used to talk about confusing actors. It's probably Samuel Jackson, actually.
No.
You don't think it was Samuel Jackson?
No, I can't make that.
Dude, I'm 62 years old. You think I should take the vow of celibacy? Well, I'm not gonna. We gotta keep
62
going.
At this time period, yeah, you're dead meat, man.
We can still have kids. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You're at death's door in this time period, age-wise.
I'm a youngster. I'm still young. Still fruitful.
Sure, yeah, you're fruitful to someone who's 69 years old, maybe.
69, you say?
Yeah.
Here, we'll have my kinsman marry this Anglo-Saxon girl. There you go.
Yeah.
Forming alliances. That's what you need to do.
So Sam defeats Shelob. Long story short, very close fight. It's not clear whether Shelob lives or not. All we know is that she slinks off into the darkness. But I like to think she died. because I fucking hate spiders, and that is an ugly piece of work Shelob is.
Indeed.
And takes the ring from the stunned Frodo because he doesn't realize Frodo is dead. Well, not dead. Sorry, Frodo's not dead. Some orcs and urks come around. They take Frodo's body because they realize he's alive, and they take him to the tower, not Barad-dûr Tower where Sauron's eye is. No, a different tower. And Sam sneaks in to follow. And okay, so. Cutting from there straight to the siege of Minas Tirith. So they're holding off as best they can. The orcs have broken through, so if they're armored trolls, they are slaughtering as many as they can. All looks to be lost. And then the Riders of Rohan come, and Theoden gives this epic pep talk of of charging into the battle and slaughtering through all these fucking orcs. Alright, here's an interesting thing behind the scenes, right? So, the Plantier fields, at least I'm not mistaken, the fields that they were filming all these horses running through, charging down from the hill, through all these orcs. Right, so first things first, they had to have the New Zealand army involved, at least as extras. For one part, right? So a lot of the Rohan soldiers, they were New Zealand army men. Yeah.
Indeed.
So yeah, they actually had their New Zealand drill sergeants actually line them up in military fashion.
New Zealand has an army? What?
Well, I don't know too much, but it's some sort of military thing,
I was mostly doing a joke, the small little countries over there. Wait, they have militaries?
Yeah, that's not the only bizarre thing. Apparently on this field, there were active mines that they were filming over.
Oh dear.
And they had to charge in through. So they actually had to make little sections where they had yellow tapes on
why would areas of New Zealand have mines?
I know, I don't know why, but it's funny because
the
actors playing Aragorn, he was saying okay, so this tape right here, this yellow tape here means there's no mines here, and they're like, no, this is where there's less mines. Oh, okay.
Oh dear. But yeah, I don't remember any time they were actually attacked in their home territory outside of even in World War II. I don't think they were. They might have been bombed, but I don't think they were directly invaded.
I don't know why they had active mines, because these were active mines with everything on the field. You could check it up and everything. But they were there. But it's a miracle none of them were set off and no one actually got killed in this freaking filming at all. There were minor injuries, but no one got seriously injured in this 15-month shoot, and also over this fucking terrifying field. Because imagine that you had the film for a couple days on this field, and you're told don't step over this area because there's just mines as far as you can see and you'll die. You can step around here, but watch out, because not only will you have to charge into these other extras, but also you could be stepping on a fucking mine. Oh, I can only imagine the panic in their hearts,
Indeed, terrifiedness. But yeah, it's I still can't understand why they would be there though, unless they were just testing them or something.
Yeah, I can't imagine, because New Zealand has never been, at least in that time period, definitely not been involved in any wars or anything.
Yeah, I think the last time they would have had wars when England came in and conquered it, and I don't think that would have had landmines.
Yeah, I don't know, unless even maneuvers, you wouldn't use live mines.
Yeah.
So I don't understand, because this seemed like a big field in the middle of nowhere that was just perfect for a shoot, but unfortunately, it had to be. They decided, let's put some active mines here. Okay.
So
that is interesting, but yeah, they the Rohan, the Riders of Rohan, they charge through. They slaughter all the way through the orcs. They're about to win. Victory's in their grasp. And what do they see? The Easterlings are their elephants.
Indeed.
Oh man.
Who knew dying
Which
could be
is-
so profitable, dude?
Oh really?
Look at
Yeah,
all
you
my
got money
land
from-
now, bro.
Wow.
Gained 2 new territories just from dying.
Oh nice. It must be like a pity thing. Like, oh, you died here. We'll make it easier for you.
No, it's because I made this dude who ruled 2 territories my heir.
Oh, okay, right, all right. Ugh.
Let's see. I should make another ruler my heir next time. Be like, hey, bro, you wanna be my heir? You wanna take over my kingdom, bruh? We're all family here.
Welcome to the family, son.
It's a Celtic-only trait where you can inherit lands. You can pass. You can, so long as they're in your family, you can vote to elect them as the inheritor.
Ah, gotcha, right.
So it's easy to keep your empire together. And now we're probably the most powerful group in all of Ireland.
Nice.
It's only natural.
Right, yeah. So, what else? So, okay. They're doing well, especially in the fight against the Easterlings and their elephants, surprisingly. And then, okay, the scene you brought up many times, you brought up once last week was when the Witch King comes over and knocks, well, not just knocks, but, you know, freaking completely crushes Theoden. Like I said last week, like realistically, you'd probably be spluttering blood and stuff because his horse just landed on top of him and like crushed his lower half, you know.
And then in the movie, he's just kind of like sitting there like peacefully.
Well, because
Chilling.
in a film, like they want to reach a certain age rating, and also like it's artistic license, you know. You just gotta accept it.
The chill license to
Yeah.
chill.
Right. And this is when Eowyn steps up. She kills the fell beast. Like this happens in the book as well. And then the Witch King of Angmar, he goes in. He swings his mace. I know the actress. Like she was like when she was filming this, she was fucking exhausted because she had to go all out trying to fight, defend herself from this big fucking heavy mace that was swinging at her. So yeah, her arm gets broken. The Witch King lifts her up, saying, "No man could kill me."
And then
Pippin.
Was it Pippin? Pippin that
Yeah,
comes
Pippin.
in?
Sorry, no, I'm mistaken. Sorry, Mary.
Mary.
Yeah. It's happened to me now. Mary stabs him in the leg, wounding him, and she's like, "I am no man." Ah! Stabs him in the face. Something it's similar in the book, whereas in the book, more or less, from the moment they meet, that's when where he's like, "Yeah, you can't defeat me. No man can defeat the Witch King. Well, I'm not a man, you see. Oh shit! I better. I didn't think this through."
Oh, how dare you use wordplay against me, madame?
It's kind of like that Macbeth thing, you know, like no man born can kill me. Yeah, well, I was C-sectioned. Oh shit. It's
Wait, isn't it still being born? What?
You know, like have you ever read Macbeth or know anything of Macbeth?
I don't believe so.
All right, well,
I
essentially,
know Hamlet. Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him.
Oh, that's Hamlet. Yeah. With Macbeth, you know, he's like he was told with prophecy that no man born can kill him. So no man born traditionally through the womb can kill him. But his rival was C-sectioned, so technically not born traditionally. So yeah, so he does get the upper hand there. So that's what I mean there.
So many silly things happen in books and literature.
Yeah, definitely. So, yep, she kills the Witch King, and Theoden dies, and she's knocked out. In the film, it's kind of like a little ambiguous why she's unconscious all of a sudden. In the book, it's because like I understand why they didn't show it though, because like in the book, like the Nazgul have this thing called has this weird sort of breath attack, which would just look silly in a film, admittedly. Like, imagine just like, like this weird sort of like, it's like essentially like a breath so bad that it could kill you. So it's just so you can understand why they didn't show that in a film, you know, like.
Indeed.
Yeah. I've eaten nothing but onions today.
Oh no! Don't eat onions. They're gross.
I mean, onions with a sandwich is fine. You know, like Subway. You know.
Subway eat fresh.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, they have that weird, creepy guy as their spokesman for a while there.
Oh shit! Yeah, Jared from Subway. That fucking thing. Yeah. Oof.
Indeed.
That did not age well. At all.
It
Shit.
did not. Did not. People need to stop. People should probably look into people before they hire them, honestly.
Yeah, definitely.
But,
Anyway.
you know, it happens sometimes.
Yeah,
the Princess
I know.
of Bavaria.
This day and age.
There you
This
go.
day and age,
Perfect.
yeah. Ugh, yeah. Anyway. So the black ships arrive, the orcs think like they have reinforcements again, but lo and behold, it's Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas. They showed up because they already slaughtered the pirates. And what's behind them? An army of undead ghosts who just cleave their way through all enemies, and yeah, with their combined efforts, they defeat all of Sauron's forces. And this is when Aragorn, you know, holds their oaths fulfilled, as you brought up much earlier in the day, in the night, sorry, and they are freed, and they pass on. Now, I understand they would be very useful in the fight against Sauron, but you see, the thing is, Sauron's also a necromancer, so I can imagine, like, you wouldn't want, like, you know, something undead to go close, you know, to him, because who knows what he's capable of controlling, you know?
Indeed.
Yeah. So, as useful as they sound on paper, probably not the best thing to go against, you know. It's like sending like a plant monster after a druid. You know, the druid's gonna win. They can control plants, you know. At least D&D terms, yeah.
D&D.
Yeah. I know like early D&D, like they had some disputes with Tolkien because like they took a lot of their races and characters, well, not characters, but like creatures from Tolkien into their lore. So they have to change the names around, like the Balrogs, they renamed them the Balor. The hobbits they called halflings and stuff. The ents they called tree ents, just to avoid copyrights, you know.
So they stole it, you say?
Sorry?
They stole it? They stole the characters?
Well, initially, yes, but then they repurposed them. Say they're kind of the same, but different name.
It's like these are
slightly.
Uruk-hai, but they're not Uruk-hai. They're actually something else.
Yeah. Well, they're allowed to say orc. For some reason, orc is in public domain.
Well, yeah, I think orcs have been around for a while, so that makes sense.
Yeah, maybe it's like elf and dwarf. You know, like there's they have a precursor, you know, and but I think with like the likes of Balrogs and hobbits and ents, they're all Tolkien created, so you can't use them exactly. You have to change them up a wee bit.
Indeed.
Right, yeah. We gotta have a counter how many times you say indeed, you know.
Indeed, indeed.
Indeed.
Would you like me to say something else besides indeed? Like perhaps...
No, it's your catchphrase. Yeah, you gotta keep your catchphrase, man.
Marvelous. 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 Marvelous.
Marvelous.
Okay, so apparently with this guy that the guy that I had taken over for me, his lover is his son's wife.
Well, that's a soap opera if I've ever heard it.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is to make up for that, to make up for this terrible thing I did to him, is I'm going to go ahead and make him a bishop.
Bishop.
There you go. I am such a good dad. I even made my son a bishop. Wow. Oh wow. Oh, now they're not married anymore. Wow. What would you look at that? That's really something. Oh, but I can't. Oh wow, I can't take her as a concubine apparently because now she's working for. What do you mean you found your calling? What does it mean? You're not even what?
Oh no. She's become a nun.
Apparently my son doesn't like the idea of me taking his former wife as a concubine. Oh, the Catholic faith does not allow taking concubines. What do you mean? What do you mean the Catholic faith doesn't allow taking concubines? That's what we do. We're Catholics and we take concubines. Oh man, next thing I know, they're gonna say Mormons aren't Catholics. My goodness.
Oh man, yeah, no, and Protestants and Catholics are the exact same, you know.
Exactly. They're like brothers, and they would never fight each other. They love each other very much.
Exactly. Yeah, they never would have like hundreds of years to dispute, you know.
Exactly. They got along so well, and this dude that took my land, he now has a foothold in Scotland, apparently. Or, yeah. There you go. How about that?
Damn.
The Irish taking over Scotland, it's gonna happen, just like it did in our history.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Right, I'm just gonna head back from again real quick. Back in a sec.
Alrighty, I'll check
And
the
we
chat.
will mercifully wrap up this damn story. We're almost
Indeed.
done. Yay.
Indeed. Anyone in the chat have any questions? I think we only have one viewer currently right now outside of me and outside of Ryu. Let's see here, what to do about this empire here. Ooh, war camp. That sounds lovely. This kid, how is he still alive? He has like great pox. I don't understand. I don't even know how he got that. It's like you're just a child. What are you doing?
I am back.
Welcome back, sir.
All right, let's start breezing through this. All right.
Indeed. We'll
Okay.
finish talking this stream, and then we'll do something else the following stream.
Well, depending if I'm available, like it's just whatever the hell happens, you know.
Indeed.
We'll see. Okay, so, fuck, what happened? Okay, yeah. So, long story short, Sam saves Frodo and gives him back the ring. Aragorn, you know, he's more or less king at this point. He's just not crowned just yet. So he has all of the men of Middle Earth like backing him up. You know, Gondor and the people of Rohan, they're all backing him up, and he's saying like that to help Sam and Frodo, they're going to create a distraction by luring out all of Sauron's forces to attack him. It's a very risky plan because this is 10,000 orcs attacking probably only a few thousand men. You know,
It's a lot of orcs.
it's a lot. Yeah, they are not, and this time they don't have the walls of Helm's Deep to defend them, so or any reinforcements. It's just them. It's a suicide mission. So it's all for the greater good. And in the extended version, Aragorn, he takes up a Palantir and he communicates to Sauron, pretty much say, "Hey, we're coming for you, buddy." Whereas in the standard version, he just says, "Oh, Sauron, we'll take the bait," and they just cut to like, "Oh yeah, Sauron taking the bait." At least in the extended one, we at least see like he has the courtesy to call him, saying, "We're coming to fuck your shit up, buddy." So he's prepared for them.
So he's like, "Hello, sir. I just wish to call you, let you know that we're gonna fuck your shit up." And he's like, "Oh, well, thank you, sir.
Pretty much, yeah.
Very
pretty
pleasant
much.
of you."
But unfortunately, Sauron does the dick move, and he pretty much like says, "Your girlfriend's gonna die, bro." Like, you dick. Pretty much, yeah.
Indeed. So,
Yeah.
what do you think about this reverse move that Picklin pulled on England?
Oh. Pickland.
It's like the reverse 360 no scope right there. I
It
don't know.
really is there. Is that Cornwall on the very bottom down there?
Let's see what Cornwall is still alive and well. Yes.
Yeah. Are you purposely leaving them alive, you know, because of your soft spot for them?
Well, I'm over here. I'm mostly focusing on consolidating Ireland right now.
Okay, good. Go to keeping Ireland green. I like that. I respect that.
And we're this light shade of green, but eventually we will conquer all of Ireland, and it will become known as Uniland.
Neeland.
It'll be the grand kingdom, the grand empire, perhaps. Yes, empire. The Irish
You
Empire.
know the old saying like, Alcohol was made to keep the Irish from ruling the world.
Oh. Look, doesn't she have some very nice lips there?
Oh.
She has a hair lip.
Very appealing, yeah. Eastland.
Indeed. Island, as I like to call it. Ah, look at this man. I think he wants to be invaded, if I were to say anything. But if I invade him, apparently Cornwall's gonna get involved.
Oh no, not Cornwall. We can't fight Cornwall.
Indeed, they're too powerful.
Yeah, and we also have a bit of sentimental love for Cornwall, don't we?
Indeed, but oh, this King of Cornwall is currently a very violent man.
Oh, you have to conquer it for the greater good.
He killed Jane at the stake. Poor Jane. Jane was a good woman.
No, not Jane.
Indeed.
Poor Jane.
I heard her first name was Mary. Very unfortunate.
And her last name was Watson. Yeah.
Oh, her last name was Jane. Mary Jane. Indeed.
I was making a Spider-Man reference, but you're obviously referring to marijuana, but okay.
What is it? Marijuana.
Because that was the nickname, Mary Jane, marijuana.
What?
That's like the nickname for marijuana, Mary Jane.
I didn't know that.
Really?
No. Is that like a UK thing?
No. It's an American thing.
Is it?
Yeah, because like it's the way it's spelled. Like it's yeah, like MJ. Marijuana, because it has like marijuana has a J in it.
I see.
So when someone's like singing like "Sweet Mary Jane," they're talking about marijuana. They're not talking about a woman. They're talking about marijuana.
Oh dear. I thought Mary Jane was the one from Spider-Man.
She is. Yeah, she is. I thought initially I thought you were referencing her, but when you just said just Mary Jane, it's like, oh, you're referencing marijuana.
I thought
like,
Mary
what?
Jane was her full name.
No, it's Mary Jane Watson. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Jane is the middle. Yeah.
I did not know that. Because I always just heard her called Mary Jane. I've never actually heard her called Mary Jane Watson.
Well, I mean, you don't say someone's full name unless you're a weirdo. Like,
well, it's weird that you call someone by their middle name as well.
Well, I mean, some people I've met that. I've met. It depends. Like, some people have like a middle name that like you just read after. I've met people who were called Carol Ann. There's an Ann after their Carol. Yeah.
Indeed, my screen froze.
Oh no. You're doing
Indeed.
too well, and the game didn't want you to win.
Is the stream still going?
Yeah, the stream's still going. I see your cursor moving around. Yeah.
Oh dear. Let me try doing something then.
All right. While you're doing that, I shall continue to wrap up. Sam and Frodo, they sneak their way past the orcs, and they make their way up to Mount Doom. It's a long and arduous trek, and Aragorn and the boys, they roll up to the gates, to the Black Gates, and in the extended version, out comes one of Sauron's henchmen, the mouth of Sauron. He's called that because he speaks for Sauron, because he speaks his will, and he taunts them by showing them the Mithril vest, the vest that Frodo wears, claiming that Frodo is dead. In the books, this has like legit tension because we don't know if Frodo's alive or dead or not. In the films, we know Frodo's alive, so it's almost pointless. Even the creators know that. But I feel like it's a way to like it's just one last little fake out, just so our characters could have their moment of doubt. Like, oh shit, have we failed already? And Aragorn's like, no, fuck this. He goes up and chops that fucker's head off, and that angers Sauron enough that he unleashes all of Mordor upon him.
Indeed.
And that's when we have our epic for Frodo moments. And he charges into the orcs, then Merry and Pippin, and then Gandalf and all the rest charge in and cause this big distraction. Sam is literally carrying Frodo up Mount Doom, and who do they meet but Gollum, ready to the pounce on them. They momentarily stun him. Frodo gets to Mount Doom. He's about to cast the ring in the fire, but unfortunately, at this point, the ring is fully taken him. The ring is mine, Sam. No.
And then he does not
And
wish to throw
all
it
looks
in.
lost.
But then a
also,
hero.
actually,
a hero comes from the
are
shadows.
you still there?
Yes, can you hear me, sir? Let's just try doing this
Dude?
then.
Hello?
You can't hear me. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh no. Is it just me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me now? Oh no. Viewers, can you hear me? No. Alright. We're going to have to try to do that.
I can't hear you at all, Tak, if you're talking.
Oh no. Why is it doing this?
I turned on the audio on the stream. I can hear you for the stream, but I can't hear you.
Oh, okay. Can you hear yourself through the stream?
If I turn on the stream audio for YouTube, I can hear you there, but I can't hear you on Discord.
Oh no, there's a delay, so you can't hear what I'm saying currently. I think I'm gonna have to turn off my computer probably because it's not letting me move anything. It's like stuck in the game cursor, and I can't access anything else.
All right. Okay. Right, you're gonna turn off your computer. Okay. Right.
All right, one moment. It's probably gonna cut off the stream. So I hope everyone has a pleasant evening. Remember to drink your water and brush your teeth. Laters.